Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on another episode of the Boogered Up podcast with a very special guest. This gentleman has been seen over millions all over the world for being Captain Autism. Everybody, he has worked with the likes of Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, and Bert Kreischer, the Machine. And I tell you what, we are very excited to maybe even get a little shaken up by this guy, and you'll know what I mean here in a second. Everybody, AJ Wilkerson, baby! How are you doing, sir? How you doing?
That was pretty good. That was a pretty nice build-up. I like that.
I wanted to do a little stab, but then pull it and heal it at the same time, all in that mix. So a little shaking.
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Thank you. How you doing,
I don't
man?
know what those words mean in that order together, but I like them. I like them.
You're in the sex dungeon, as you called it earlier.
Yeah, dude, there was a long hall. There was a basement, and then there was a room, and then there was a hall, and then another room, and yeah, it's.
How'd you like the 4 foot 5
I feel like
doorway?
I'm not no, it was having to hunch through the because I'm tall. I'm
You're surprisingly a lot taller than I thought you would have been too.
Yeah. I'm big as shit.
Voice,
the biggest boy in this basement. I'm the biggest boy in this basement right now.
I think that might be true.
I was like, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Usually that's how that goes. We're all average height except Cody Ray.
No, it did feel like as I was coming down, there was a moment as I was like, oh, there's further that I was like, oh, I'm never gonna see daylight again.
I saw you walk straight, and usually some people will walk and they'll walk with me, and they're like, nah, we'll let you go first, I'll follow. And you were just walking in under the on air like, what the fuck are we doing over here?
Golden Retriever energy, dude. I gotta be in front. That's the rules. I gotta walk in front, dude. I gotta lead the way, dude.
I love that shit. I love that. I want to get directly into this shit because you were messaging us. We were trying to schedule a time for you to be here and everything. And again, thank you for 5 hours of travel to head on over this way to be on the pod.
Yeah.
What the hell happened last night? What happened on your travels? Because you said something like, yo, I'm leaving earlier. I got caught up in the wildest shit. I can't wait to tell you.
Oh, yeah, no, just a horrible hotel situation. Dude,
no.
So I did a Let's Fest in Indianapolis last night.
Hell yeah.
10 p.m., late show.
Yeah.
Fantastic time with my buddy Jake was there.
Shout out Jake.
Jake Rubel, my best friend, part of the festival. Dude, we had a blast. I left right after and started heading this way to break the drive up a little bit. And I was like, oh, I'll grab a hotel along the way. I'm an old school, road dog. I've been on the road for a while doing this, comedy thing. I lived on the road for a while. So it's that's no big deal. Snagged it. I don't want to say the name of the hotel, but it rhymes with... I'm not a rapper. Motel 6. It rhymes with Motel 6.
Damn, so they definitely didn't have that continental breakfast.
We didn't even make it that far, dude.
Oh, Lord.
So I get in at 3 a.m., right? Okay. And so it's already tricky at that time of night trying to find a place.
Real sketchball hours.
Signs buzzing,
the signs trying to stay late.
I find them through an app, so I'm like, okay, pretty good, decent looking reviews. This should be fine. Get in, check into the front desk. He gives me a room. Everything seems like normal. Get up to the room. The beds aren't made. Everything's flipped back, somebody's slept in here. And nobody's been in here since.
Oh, shit.
And then, I get closer to one of the beds because I'm like, oh, maybe they started, ADHD. Somebody started making this bed and then forgot, maybe it's still clean. I get closer and, there's, body cheese discolor on the sheets. And, I flip the pillow over and there's, marks on the pillow.
What kind of monster was in there?
Yeah, so I just take pictures of everything back out of the door like it's a crime scene. Don't touch anything. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, you might be on. Somebody might be hunting you right now.
So I go straight back to the desk. I'm like, look, I'm gonna need a different room, right? And he's like, oh, what's wrong with it? I was like, that room wasn't cleaned, and he's like, oh, what was wrong with it? And I showed him a couple pictures real quick, and he's like, oh, no worries, my apologies. Let me get you in a different room. Gives me keys to another room.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, problem solved.
Right. Spirits are high
relax. Now. I open the door to the second room, and the first thing that hits me is the piss smell.
Oh
And I'm like, something's going wrong here.
Oh my God.
So I flip the lights on. Lights don't work. Got to plug in the lights to get the lamps to work.
I love how you went keep the lights on for you.
Well, because I walked in and I because the shades were open, and this is the kind of hotel where like the doors are open to the outside, which I should have known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I should have known.
You should have seen. You've probably seen a couple barbecue grills sitting out.
Yeah, but dude, I had already tuned out, so I wasn't like fucking percepting my surroundings.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just fucking in. So I'd gone in through like the fucking street light, like window light from outside and to the middle to the lamps.
Yeah.
The lamps aren't, and I'm like, fuck. So I got to slide the thing out to plug the lamp lights back in.
This is a journey.
And as soon as I plug the lamp lights back in and the light comes on, I see how gross it was under that table I had to slide out. And then how dirty the rest of the floor is, like completely unswept. There's like hair and like a lady's like press-on nail. Like a full... I found 3 of them over the course of the evening.
You stayed in that room?
3 of 10, dude. I got 7 more to go, and I got the full set. Dude.
Oh my God.
He said, I'm going to sell them one day.
But, and I'm like, but I can't identify the smell, right? And then I'm like, well, the beds are made at least.
Okay.
So, like, at least there's a clean bed.
Right.
I flip one of the beds back and immediately see like more marks and stuff like that. And I'm like, nope, not this one. You know, I go to the other bed, pull that cover back, and on the top of the cover, like on the inside, you know how they fold that sheet back and make that little like
make it look
that
lip.
nice little the little lip. Right, like 2 inches past the inside of the lip is like a 4.5 inch long dried snot mark, dude. Like just dried booger with like chunks in it. Yeah. Oh my God. Like legit. Like somebody woke up one morning and was just like straight into the sheets and then fucking hightailed it out of there. And then that lady came back in and then just okay. It gets worse though.
What?
Because immediately I see the boogers, I see all that other kind of stuff. I'm like, no fucking way. So I literally go and sit on my luggage in the corner of the room by like the door and get on with like the customer service of the app and I'm like, hey, I gotta get a different room. Like I gotta get out of here. And so they start asking me questions through there. Eventually they call me and so we're on the phone. I'm like, look, they already moved me to a room once. Like I would just like to move to a different hotel. They're like, well, let me call the front desk, see what we can do.
Oh no.
The guy at the front desk says there's not a manager there that can like refund it or like anything like that. So she calls me back and she's like, go to the front desk. He says he's got another room. And I was like, okay, great. Now we're doing this. So I get down there. He has a key and he's like, here's another room. And I was like, are you sure this room's been cleaned? And he's like,
You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the first 2 were
right. That face where he's like, I can't answer this question honestly. And so he's like, do you want? And I was like, come and look at it with me.
Oh fuck. Okay.
So he comes with me to look at this room. We open the door and immediately I just like wipe my foot across the floor and come up with like I'm sweeping.
Yeah.
And there's literally like a mark of shit just like the length of my foot where it's like, okay, so definitely hasn't been swept or anything like that, or the floor hasn't been cleaned. I flip the beds back. There's other people's hairs in the beds. This
is insane.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, do you guys not wash linens? Like what is happening here?
What was the rating on this place that you booked?
Yeah, because they honey potted you.
It was decent.
Because you looked this place up. You found this place.
Yeah.
You picked
this
this
honey
place.
potted, man.
Yeah. And I don't know if it had like recently changed ownership or what, but something was going on. Dude. But he's like, I don't have any. This is the only other room I have marked as clean. Like, I have no other clean.
So there's other rooms marked dirty?
Yeah, so he's like that. This is all and I was like, oh great, right?
It's just a bunch of crime scenes. And
legit. He's like, this is the cleanest room I have.
Oh my!
And I was like, dude, and I was like, come on, bro. I was like, be honest. I was like, be honest. Would you sleep in here? And he just went like.
Oh my god!
Like he did the thing again, and I was like, "Gotcha."
So at least
you know what I mean?
like he was kind of like understanding about it. Then, like, where you were coming from?
Not really. No.
Damn.
It was just like legit. Because I was like, there's other people's like hair and bodily fluids in these beds. Like I cannot. Like I'm not gonna sleep in this, right? And he's like,
"This is unbelievable." Oh my god!
You know. So I get back on the phone with the app people. And I was like legit, the room you just put me in with the snot is cleaner than these rooms. So I'll just go back to that room. I was like, I'll take the blankets off of this one bed and swap it to the, and figure that out. I get back and I start to pull the booger blanket off the bed, and I find the piss smell.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
They peed the bed.
It's probably like hookers. This is like a hooker motel.
Dude, I don't know. Like the only thing that's the only thing that could have been worse would have been finding cum, dude.
Finding cum?
I don't think you found it. I think it was there. I just don't think you found it.
Maybe.
Yeah, you definitely didn't find it. It was there. For sure was there.
If it was there, here's the deal, dude. If it was there, it was still wet, dude. Do you know what I mean?
Like it wasn't hard.
Like it
yet.
wasn't dry. There was
They didn't have a humidifier.
It might have been mixed in with the pee.
Room.
Actually, probably that's exactly where the cum was, dude. That was probably like one of those like nighttime.
Bruh.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
This guy.
Yeah, that was
you've been through some adversity.
Cinemax.
Some adversity to get over here.
They give you like a little coupon off your next day or something, for your troubles.
No. Here, that was the fucked up part, right? So I get back on with the app, and I'm I gotta get out of this hotel. Like, just let me go find a different hotel.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, well, they can't refund you your money until the manager gets there tomorrow. So blah, blah, blah. So what I'll do is I'll put like a $50 like coupon thing in your account so you can book another hotel. And I was like, okay, awesome. Except like I go into the app to confirm the coupon and I was like, okay, it's there. And then I go to book a hotel and I was like, wait a minute. It's now 5:30 in the morning.
This was a 2.5 hour process.
This has been a 2.5 hour process.
Oh my god!
So now it's 5:30 in the morning, right? And I'm like, what? Like,
this is like an
now
hour.
The issue is
this is like an hour after he messaged us at like 6:30 in the morning, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come a little early." So this is an hour after that situation. This motherfucker's had a night.
Well, yeah, because now she puts the $50 thing in the account so I can book another hotel.
Right.
I'm like, that's awesome. But now here comes the fun part, right? Because it is now 5:30 in the morning, their app has like reset, so I can't book a hotel for the next 4 hours.
You're for tonight,
right? Like I can book a hotel now for the next night.
Oh my god!
Right.
That's so rough, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I ended up legit sleeping across the foot of one of the beds.
Like a dog?
With like the one clean set, like
a
clean-ish blanket. Like golden retriever, dude. All the way golden retriever.
Man.
Dude, that kind of autism, dude. I was just like, well, this is just where I've been homeless. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like I've. You know what? If I really think about it, I've been in worse condition.
Because you used to live in a van. Yeah.
Yeah, a van.
You've
that
upgraded now.
Yeah, a van that would actively commit war crimes against me.
Oh my god!
because the roof leaked over the back where I would sleep. So as I would sleep, I'm the kind of like person I'll pull like my blanket up over my face as I sleep.
Yeah.
So I'd be sleeping with a blanket over my face, and then all of a sudden there's water coming through the blanket. like,
like
fucking waterboarding me as I'm trying to sleep, dude. So I'm just like,
or have a dream you're getting waterboarded and wake up and you're getting fucking waterboarded and you're like, oh my god, this was not a dream.
You're like, fuck.
Oh my god, is that your worst? Is that your worst travel
sleeping
story?
in a Guantanamo themed food truck, just fucking, you know what I mean? Just fucking living in that.
Is that your topped out worst travel story? Is there one that tops that now, or is that your worst travel story?
I've had a couple wild ones. I told another one on a friend's podcast where we went to LA. And actually, on my new podcast, one of the episodes we just recorded, I went out to, I had a string of shows out in Los Angeles, and a couple of my friends were out there with me, like, opening. Okay. So we, like, me and my buddy Jake, who's always with me, we met up with them in L.A., and they were doing spots on, like, my L.A. shows.
Gotcha.
And they were, like, my friend Fiona Cawley, who's a Nashville comic, shout out Fiona, super funny. She has a form of ataxia, so she is in like a motorized wheelchair.
Okay.
And it affects her whole body, her speech, like motion, stuff like that. But she had a Airbnb through like a friend, like staying at like a friend's place.
Right.
And so she's like, oh, we'll just all share this Airbnb. Like it says that it sleeps like so and so many people, and there's like 4 of us. And I think it said it sleeps like 7. So it's like, perfect. Oh, we'll be fine, right?
Right.
Now again, Fiona is in a motorized wheelchair. Mm-hmm. So we get to this Airbnb that it's her friend's apartment. Like her friend was like, oh, you're going to LA, stay at my place for free. Okay. Right? So her friend knows that she is in this wheelchair as well. So
I can see where this is going.
We get to this complex, and it's one of those Spanish-style apartment complexes where it's like the buildings around like a garden kind of thing, terrace area in the middle, but it's also elevated. Like there's 2 levels of stairs just to get up to the terrace level where the entrance to this apartment is. So now we're having to play this weird game where like we have to like take breaks at every set of steps. I have to like scoop Fiona up in my arms, carry her up the steps. Jake and our other friend Kylie, who's they're doing spots with us and stuff, they have to carry her chair up. Then we put Fiona back in the chair. We roll to the next set of steps, do the same process over again just to get in the door. Okay. And we're in Los Angeles where we're going back and forth like 4, 5, 6 times a day.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're just on a whole upper body workout every time.
On a whole like CrossFit training regimen. Now
went up there with a pump every time.
We haven't even gotten to the apartment yet.
Okay.
Right? Because we get to the apartment and the lock on the front door is like broken. We can't get in. Mm. There's a back door through the kitchen, but you have to go through this like outdoor-ish kind of like one of those like pass through like breezeway kind of, but it's the laundry room. So there's no room for the chair to fit through past like the laundry machines and stuff. The door in the kitchen isn't wide enough for the chair. Okay. So we have to go in through that back door, like break the lock open, get Christ. Fiona and her chair in, get the lock fixed and stuff like that. Luckily, I got that kind of autism, dude. I'm good with the tinkering. I took that shit apart, put it back together, dude. I fucking...
Just a little shake until she comes undone, dude.
That's fucking... You're goddamn right, dude. Just
little clothespin. Just we don't have to move this shit. Just have him put it in there. Dude, he's got it.
No, I'll just jiggle it till it comes loose, dude. Nothing is safe. Dude, you turn the cameras off and give me a couple hours in like a storage facility. Fucking, we own everything.
We own everything.
Let's walk through and just start fucking. No.
You just see him just like, got it, guys. We got it, guys. Give me a couple seconds. Exactly. I got it. There we are.
Storage Wars starts opening up any empty containers.
Fuck. What were we talking about? I forgot.
Your story getting
the apartment, the Airbnb in LA.
Oh, yeah. So we get all that taken care of. Now, inside of the apartment, it's a 1-bedroom with a pull-out couch, a day bed, and then 1 bedroom with a bed. So I don't know where 7 people sleep. But the bedroom is also elevated, so it's like up like a little like 4 set of stairs, so more stairs, right? So Fiona and Kylie are sharing the bed in the master bedroom, so Kylie has to carry Fiona up to bed every night.
Oh my god!
And then me and Jake are sleeping on these pull-out couches in the living room, like a pull-out couch and a day bed, and just the
It's got to be one of those moments where you see that bedroom and you see the extra set of stairs and you just take a slow look at it and be like, fuck, we've done all this. Can you just stay here? We'll pull this bitch out and make it nice and comfortable.
Yeah, just like literally if you had just put like cameras from like the entrance of the little complex up to like us going into the apartment and just recorded all that footage and played it on fast forward with the Benny Hill soundtrack, we'd all be millionaires. You know what I mean?
Just imagine the people watching too. Did anybody come out and like try to help at all?
Come on, Drew. People don't help people in Los Angeles.
I don't know. I've never been there.
What kind of dumbass question? he thought people in Los Angeles help each other.
Well, then they probably got a good laugh then.
Oh, some of them do, I guess. You should know, dude. Like, no, you look like Cody Ko from like the YouTube stuff. Like you kind of look like, he mentioned Kevin Smith. You kind of look like Cody Ko cosplaying Kevin Smith. Or like the Cody Ko of like the incels and the nerds.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
All
Pokemon Go Cody Ko.
Gotta catch them all.
I love that.
If you ever see a picture, that would be funnier if there was a photo.
Tech guy, pull it up so we can get context. Cody Ko. He's
handsome. Yeah, I'm calling you handsome.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Nice.
I'm calling you the handsomest dungeon master, dude.
I want to do that. No, I want to get into. So one of the reasons why you're doing these little stops and shit, besides the fact that you went and did this show, is because you have a special coming up. Yeah, no, he's that's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's correct.
Especially the smile. There's like you got good teeth.
Got good teeth.
Yeah.
Well, no, you have a special coming out.
I have a special coming out
sometime
this year.
It's still going to be this year?
It's going to be this year.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the goal, man, is to get it out by the end of this year. Like we shot it in the very end of June, beginning of July, over like 3 days. I don't even remember how many days, dude. It's everything blends together at this point. But we shot it. We've been going through all of the footage and stuff, like marking out like all the stuff we want, and I'm flying out in a couple weeks to like sit down with my director Josh Roush, who's incredible. And one of my producers and buddies, Matt Goring, and we're gonna like sit down and actually come out with the first like full like cut of
hell yeah,
the special.
Hell yeah. So the I'll let these two goons get in here because I know they're being a little. He started. I love because we hung out prior to this. We hung out a little bit. You got to see how we all are and everything. Well, whenever Fairy Tale doesn't talk for a little bit, Fairy Tale will look at me and give me not just singles of like, hey, like he's just looking at me. He's just like, and you can tell he like wants to get you. So I want to ask. I want to ask the really. Yeah. We'll get there. Yeah. I want to ask because it was a really cool story that you have in revolving of the buildup of your special because you put something up on social media about funding and everything. You had a really nice project going on and you just needed some support. You needed some help with your fans. Yes. And I'll let you take away the story of that because it's beautiful. And watching, I want to say before you start this, watching the reaction video of you when it happened, when you first got the light of like, oh, holy fuck, was the most pure thing I might have ever seen on social media. Because you were like, I can't fucking believe that you guys like me like this.
Dude, I can't. I'm about to get emotional again talking about it.
Do it.
Dude, no, that's...
Will he be the first person to cry on the podcast?
You're fucking right, I am.
No pressure.
No, I I don't know. I'd reached a point like because I'm still pretty like independent. Like I have people that are like helping me and like we're like helping keep the ship afloat and doing everything we can and like helping me get like incredible opportunities. But I don't have like an agency. I don't have like a marketing team. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. But I've still been like on my own. I've been like the social media has been going, like we've been getting those opportunities, like to do like the stuff with Jay, the stuff with Kevin Smith, the stuff with Bert, and like I've been like building an audience, and like I just reached this point like material wise where kind of like we talked about this like before we came on the podcast, is like when you guys were doing research, you're like, oh, you have to talk about like your diagnosis and your so much of this stuff every time. And so it was like, how to like we can skip past all of that. And it's the same thing with stand up. It's like I had reached the point where it's like I want to do so much other stuff and I want to get into so many other directions with so many other things that I need everyone to see this stuff so I don't have to say it anymore. Mm-hmm. So once I had reached that point, it was like, okay, I know I have the material to like put it out. I like it's time to do it. And because we're independent, like we didn't have like those kinds of connections. It's like, all right, we got to figure out a way to do this on our own. And so I just reached out to the people that I did know. And luckily, like, because I've been around like Jay and Kevin for so long, and like Jay has been taking me on the road with him for years, and like they immediately were like, yeah, like how can we help? And I had met Josh Roush through them because Josh has like a long history of working with Kevin, and when he found out that we were working on the special, he immediately was like, I'm in. I want to direct stand-up.
Hell yeah.
Because and he has a background like with stand-up also, because he'd worked like doing audio video stuff at the Hollywood Improv for years.
Nice.
And so it just kind of became this perfect storm of like when I put the signal out, like people started showing up, and I was like, okay, so people are showing up for the project, but like at this point it's not real because we have no money to do this with, and I was like, I like people did it with me, like for me when I was living in the van. And like that van was waterboarding me, and I like literally one night I was actually drowning. So I just like typed up this big thing, and I was like pissed and emotional, and like I just put it out, and like the response was amazing and helped me get into a different van, and then like that helped me get into a different, like another vehicle from there, and like it just like it just worked. Like people showed up, and so I was like, all right, I want to do this again. Like it worked on this like small scale here, so now like let's do it on a bigger scale, and let's give people something in return, right? Like because I don't want to just I like it. This time I don't want to just ask people for money. I want to like give them something in return, and it turns out a lot of people were also ready for me to make a special.
Because I don't think either one of these guys know this story about like the turnaround time of how fast it became to where you asked your fans for help and then they just flooded you with love. And it was beautiful.
Well, dude, like so the final pieces came together. Like we were like, okay, well, where are we gonna do it at? And then we booked this venue in St. Petersburg, Florida, and it was like, okay, it was like the end cap of a week that like straight in Florida where I'm from, and it's like, okay, I get like a homecoming week, like why not close that homecoming week with filming my first special, like it's like home field advantage,
right? You know?
And the like it ended up working out. Like once we were like, okay, let's do that, like the venue, like once we had made that decision, I'm flipping things around because the
ADHD, we get it.
Like brain tangles. But once we made that decision that we knew we wanted to film it in Florida at the end of that week, like we found the perfect venue, and it was Coastal Creative, which was it's like a live show venue, but also a like production studio. Like they film stuff. They do all kinds of, like they build runways and do like fashion shows. Kind of they can customize the space to whatever. And they'd done comedy shows there. I knew buddies in the scene who had done shows there, and other comedians who had filmed specials there, like J.F. Harris and Bobby Kelly both filmed specials there. So it's like, okay, this is like a legit place that can get this done. And as soon as all of the like the pieces were together, I was like, okay, like it's like the thing if it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have lined up like this, right? So it's like I just got to shoot my shot. And so me and my buddy Matt got together because he was one of the people that was on board, and he's like, I'm going to help you get this done. And then busted his ass to get like every fucking thing done over months and months of time, and fucking literally poured his life into getting this done for me.
Hell yeah.
You know? And
awesome. Shout out to dog.
So fucking shout out to my dude Matt Goring. But dude, like that's the part that like is, I guess the emotional part is like once we put the Kickstarter together and posted it, and like the donations started pouring in and responses started pouring in, and then Matt was like, you have to make videos to keep it going, right? And so then, like, literally, I'd sit down, like, to record, and I was like, I don't know what to say. And then he just started sending me screenshots of the donations. And I just started bawling my eyes out, you know? Because it was like, I'm watching, like, it, you know those... Do you remember like those charity things you'll see sometimes at like schools and like hospitals and office buildings where they like draw on the thermometer as they raise the money?
Yeah.
Like I was watching it get fucking colored in real time.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Dude. And I don't know. It was like it just kept going, and then
what was your line that you were looking for?
So we'd never done anything like this. Like my buddy, like my producer Matt, like none of the people working on the team that did this had ever filmed a comedy special before. So it was like uncharted territory for all of us. So we're putting it all together, and we coming up with a budget, and then we get the budget, and then we like short the budget because we don't have like seem greedy and ask for too much money. So I believe we started with $25,000. We were asking for $25,000. And then as it started rolling in, we realized like, oh, we are gonna hit that. Like, let's ask for what like we need. And then we like staggered it up, and I think we staggered it up to like 35,000. And basically added like bonuses. Like if we hit this goal, we can like, this is what we can get. If we hit this goal, this is what we can get. And I think we hit the first bonus goal, which got us like the audio engineer to do the mastering that would enable us at the end of all of this to do an audio version. Like an
this
album.
is $35,000 to do or $25,000 to do a special, a comedy special.
Yeah, dude. There's so much that goes. It's like, so there's the like travel and housing, like the production crew, like camera people, like all of that. There's paying camera people, like for their like 3 days of operation, and even getting like a discount. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even like my director not taking money up front, taking like a percentage on the back end. Like if this makes money, we'll make some money. You know,
that's beautiful.
That kind of thing. Like people believing in the project so much, and that kind of like Jay and Kevin reaching out and being like, "Hey, like attach our names as executive producer, so when it comes time to like once it's edited and packaged and we're ready to sell it, that gives us some leverage in trying to get it maybe on a network or on a streaming platform."
That's
the
goal. So that's the goal right there.
That's awesome.
That's the goal.
So
dog.
yeah. So like I said, everything just kind of worked out perfect.
That's a beautiful story. I love that shit.
Yeah, and so it was like, I don't know how, like having that experience, like I don't know, having like I joke about like having golden retriever energy and stuff like that, and jokes around autism, but it's going like most of my life thinking that I like feeling misunderstood or like not able to communicate with people to finding like a way to communicate with people in a way where like people literally feel like they like understand me enough or want to support me enough that they'll give money to like see something happen for me is insane.
That shit.
Do you know what I mean?
So I love that shit.
Yeah.
That shit's awesome.
Fuck yeah,
that
dude.
shit's awesome. I have a tendency to overtalk, so I'm gonna let these two.
Same, dude.
Yeah, dude. I can tell, and I was like, I know we've talked for a decent amount, and I was like, I just want to throw it at them, and like whatever questions, whatever the fuck they want to talk about.
I've been waiting to have a conversation with this.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Well, so I mean, I'm gonna ask one question, then we can dive in and get some nasty stuff talked about. But so you've traveled, quite all around. What is the best food in the state? Like the best food wherever you've traveled. Like you can't wait. You get excited to go to the state.
Yeah, I know you can't tell because he's really big. He's skinny fat, but this motherfucker will eat, dog.
Oh, all right. As weird as this is gonna sound, it's that's kind of what me and Jake do when we're on the road. Is like if we're somewhere, we'll like what's the food here that we need to try.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like lobster rolls in Boston and like
That's
shit
fire,
like that.
Yeah.
But weirdly, because like we love coming to the Midwest because we love Skyline chili.
Hell yeah!
No way!
Yes. No way!
No fucking way, dude.
Yeah, dude. The fucking
shout out to Skyline,
the fucking
dude.
bowl, like, cause we're both Jake is gluten intolerant, and I'm like a little like not like as bad as him, but so we'll go there and get like the bowls where like it's the hot dogs covered in the chili and stuff, like no spaghetti, it's just hot dogs covered.
He just dabbled in all that shit.
No, I got Gold Star.
Yeah,
It
you
was
tried
shit.
Gold Star. You just shit. You're a
Yeah.
big Skyline guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skyline.
Gold Star's
Dude,
nothing.
I had never even tried it until I started doing comedy and like started like traveling with Jake, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta take you to one." And then
Do you like Wendy's chili?
I'm gonna put you on.
Occasionally, I'll fuck with.
He's gonna
some
put you
Wendy's
on right
chili,
here.
but
So do you like the spicy nuggets they have?
I heard you guys talking about this.
Yeah. Dip them in the chili, man.
All right,
That'll
word.
change the whole
just for
game.
context, I hit him up, our guest Zach, we had on. This dude, I was like, yo, did you try that shit? And he's like, brother, let me tell you, this was the most life-changing. He said, I will never order anything else from Wendy's again. I was like, that fucking good? He's like, no, dude, that little motherfucker knows something.
That little motherfucker knows
I'm gonna have
something.
to try it, dude. I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, so good.
Oh, that shit.
Because they
That's
charge
fire.
you for, don't they charge you for like ranch and stuff? I'm pretty sure like sauce cups and stuff are like 25 cents extra.
I don't know.
So I'm like, if you want that little heat, man, you get a little spicy nugget and you dip it and you got
Hell
a little,
yeah.
you know, like hot sauce or nothing, and you get a nice little piece of meat.
Shout out to Skyline for the Bengals. You're a lucky man for pulling me away from the Bengals game today. But after we were at halftime when we started this up, I'm glad that you pulled me away.
I am not the one that pulled away.
You want an
was
update?
the
I'm
Bengals?
pretty sure Derrick Henry is the one who pulled away from the
No,
Bengals.
come on, man.
With a rushing,
We
the running
started-
back who threw a
dude.
passing
We started
touchdown.
this
What a
bitch
guy.
up. We started.
Now you
We
got
were
me
just
wanting
about
to
to
look.
start. We were just about to
Cody
start this
said, "Now I
shit.
gotta look."
And Fairy Tale goes, "What are you looking for?" Fairy Tale goes, "Oh, Derrick Henry just threw a passing touchdown." I was like, "All right, dude, fuck this whole thing, dude. How bad is it?
Do you
Did
want
see
an
it?
update?
Yeah.
Look at it. No, you don't.
No, I don't. Is
No.
it getting worse?
Not really. It's not getting any better. 27-3. 6 minutes left.
It's worse.
You're still whoop. Oh, I'm actually coming.
I knew
back
it was
a little
24-3
bit
when
in
we
fantasy.
started.
It's 26 now.
27.
And this is the last
God, I thought-
week. I hereby renounce my citizenship from betting against Cincinnati. Done. Never again.
Don't fucking look at me.
You can't put your money where your
All
heart
right,
is.
yeah,
dude.
you know what? We
can't
gotta
put
clear
your
my.
money
I
where
gotta
your
clear
heart
my
is.
mind. We're in the podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be fired up the rest of this
Look
goddamn
at all
time.
the spooky cobwebs. Ooh.
Ah.
We just dropped some new merch.
I'm gonna trade all
We
my
did. We did
Bengals
drop
away.
new merch.
We did
We
drop some new merch.
Spooky merch.
And you can get it everywhere, especially at fanatics.com.
God damn it! No, you can't. No, you cannot.
At your local Kohl's.
At your local Kohl's convenience
man.
store.
BoogeredUpPodcast.com. Get that shit. I know he's got. When we just had this last shout out Samantha, she just came on the podcast and he came up with a question that was a very good question to ask comedians, and I want him to throw that at you because I want to know yours as a golden retriever.
Yes.
Like, you know how football players have, like, game day rituals. Do you have any game day rituals? Like, if you're having a show that day, do you go out and, like, oh, I got to get a drink from this place, or, like, I got to wear this shirt, or anything along that line?
Got Lucky Chonies?
No, nothing like that.
Lucky bowl of chili from
that.
Skyline.
No, nothing like that. Like, there's kind of like normally me and Jake won't eat, like, before a show.
Even if it's all the way at night?
No. Like, we'll eat, like, basically, if it's after, like, 2 o'clock and we have a show at, like, doesn't matter, 7, 8, anything like that. It's like after 2, 3 o'clock, we're not eating food again until after the show.
Is it because of jitters for the show, or is it just for...
I think so.
Okay.
And that's a little bit less now. Like, I can eat a little bit closer to showtime, you know, and I can snack, like, I can have a bite or two of something.
Gotcha.
I just can't eat. But yeah, partially like jitters, nerves, because I will like acid reflux it or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to be trying to tell jokes and swallow vomit.
Do you smoke before you go on stage, or do you do most of your shows sober?
No,
I'm dying. Fairy Tale was going to ask you that question. You kept talking, and Fairy Tale's, do you... I don't know why. Like, I don't know if you activated a tick for this guy or something, but every time he's going to talk,
that's how I caught myself from talking over him.
No,
I've been trying to work on that by not talking over
that shit was so good.
Because once I get going on this train, I have to get every word out, and some people.
You had to mention trains. Let's go.
You like trains?
Oh my God, trains,
bro! My little brother has autism.
See, okay. I like the sound and the motion of trains. I'm not like the engineering. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like I can't tell you everything about the history of this.
Bro,
no. For me, it's the sound and the motion. Every chance I get, I will ride a train because it's like the calming sensation. It's almost like the train is stemming for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I just get to watch
everything else
outside go by.
You're just chilling. Like,
what's the longest train ride you've taken? I want to go like across the country on a
I
train.
would love to do that.
I think that'd be awesome.
I've been seeing now these westward trains that'll take you like Utah, Colorado, like through like the deserts and shit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But they're these like pimped out train, like old school style, like walk around train cars, you know?
Yo, that's
like
nutty.
Wild West style shit, but modern.
The little dudes.
Yeah,
there's
some that you can get with like that you get like the sleeper carts and stuff.
I've
overnight.
They have a line from Cleveland to Chicago.
But
they have a line that goes from Cleveland to Chicago. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So far, I've done like the Starlight Express train that goes from like Seattle, Portland, like down to Los Angeles.
Okay.
Damn.
So
how long of a
Seattle.
trip is that?
I broke it up. So I went Seattle to Portland, and then I got off before Los Angeles, and a buddy picked me up. So I couldn't give you the exact, but Seattle to Portland is like 4 hours, 3-4 hours.
That's not
That
bad.
I think
That was a really long.
Yeah,
I think that's.
I know. Sometimes he does that, and it's just a random catch in the mic where it's just like a whistle in the back, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
That's not bad for a train, though. That's not too bad.
Yeah, tea's ready.
Isn't there? I think there's a circuit that you can go like around the country or something.
There's a circuit you can do it, and there's like a pass you can buy that'll let you get on and off like a certain number of times a month, and you can go like fucking.
You can get like a fucking season pass,
dude. Let's do
train
it.
card.
You want to vlog it? You want to go on a train trip?
Do you get that Lilu Dallas multi-pass, dude, for the train?
What's up, y'all? I'm here to stay.
This is my room for the next month.
I feel like if I was in the train, I'd be sick. But like, I'd be stoked. But like, dude, if I'm looking at a train, fuck them, bro. Those things are the scariest things in the world. Yeah, there's a train coming right now. I got scared. I was like, what if it's off the railroad tracks?
Live in like Ohio. Exactly. Yeah. You guys live in Ohio where they keep crashing.
Well, bro.
You guys live in Ohio where somebody let an autistic dude play with real trains.
Well, there's a bill that passed up here in this area, dude. And it makes trains terrible.
Some politician's nephew is sitting in a corner office somewhere with a conductor hat on, just pressing buttons and crashing trains all over Ohio and Pennsylvania, dude.
Somebody should have told that kid no.
Apple slices that are just dunked in caramel.
Yeah, in between charcuterie trays, dude.
Charcuterie.
Bro. Have you ever rode in a train?
Yeah. I went because my wife's from Chicago, so we went over there.
Train. I've never gone on a road train.
Her best friend. We met in Chicago. We got on a train, and they're just having the best time. And I was sitting there just like this the whole fucking time, just like I don't know what goes on in these motherfuckers, but I'm ready for anything. I want to
go on the
and
trolley,
it was one of those fast
dude.
ones too. It wasn't a regular. It was one of those ones that was just like, and I was like, oh my god, we're going like 400 miles per hour right now.
Nah, dude, I don't like the fast ones.
No, I need a slow one.
Exactly. I want one that could still be robbed on horseback.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, like you can see the
give me
stuff
that
going
slow
by.
ass train, because legit, it like. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, like a cruise ship, like at certain like deck levels, it will legit like rock you to sleep, and it like a train, like I feel like does the same shit to me. Like
It's
not
just calming,
necessarily
yeah.
all the way to sleep, but that's because I'm sitting up.
Right.
And
It just like
people around,
relaxes
and that's
you.
weird, you know.
Have you
That's
ever
weird.
rode that trolley
Even on
in San
airplanes, I can't
Francisco?
sleep on an airplane, so I just put my neck pillow on and I pretend to sleep on airplanes just so nobody talks
It's like a
to me.
mind rest.
You just gotta put the AirPods in and nobody
Yeah,
will talk to you.
I'll do that. I got the over ear one, so I'll do that
Got
and
them
like
old
watch
school
my
beats?
iPad sometimes. But if the person next to me seems chatty, I'll fucking hit him with the fake nap real quick.
I'll hit him with the fake nap.
You're just like, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
I got
fucking hit him
narcolepsy.
with the,
I got narcolepsy.
It's mid conversation. Sorry.
I just ate a gummy before I got on here, so I'm not gonna.
I legit will do that. I also I got
We did that.
There's
We
a
did
great
that.
story of these guys, dude. We
well-
went to Minnesota, and we went to another pod, and these guys had a gummy.
like an hour and a half flight. Not
We
long.
split-
They
we
had
split
they,
a gummy.
We
They
split
had
a
a
50
fat
milligram.
gummy, and so they get on, and as they're getting on, it's
Well,
slowly
first we stopped
kicking
and got
in.
the beer.
They
We
did.
got a
They
big
did
old
drink
craft
prior
beer.
too.
Big old craft.
So
beer
they're
we
getting
got.
on, and as we're getting on,
Okay.
they're both like whispering to me. They're like, "It's kicking in."
When you
And I'm
say
like, "Great."
when you say big old craft beer, are you talking about like those growler like pint
It was
things?
No,
not-
no,
it was
no.
like
bigger than a
very tall
pint.
glass.
It was like a 16
Oh,
ouncer.
okay, got you.
Yeah, so we get on, and the problem was is that we went for cheap tickets. So we ended up getting in the aisle where, like, if some shit happens, you got to fuck around and help
The
everybody
emergency
else.
seats.
Yeah, where the open doors are, and so
they don't let me.
I'm
sit
in the
there.
middle.
At this point, we actually saw somebody.
They did not let me sit there.
One arm pissed he couldn't sit
He got
there.
kicked out of the seat.
And
Yeah,
he was pissed.
he was like fucking
Dude,
7
that
foot
is
tall.
the one-armed guy is exactly who I want sitting
Right,
next to the
right.
emergency exit.
Not these two fucking high
Because
idiots.
if you see that you have to like grab the one side and then grab this, and the one-armed guy can't open it mid-flight. That's exactly who I want next to the emergency exit, dude. That's good for my anxiety, dude. Due to my disability, I need that disability next to that door, please and thank you.
Oh,
series of
dude, we were all sitting there. I'm in the middle, and both of them are just cooked. And I'm
Like,
At this point, we didn't know that we had the emergency exit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we didn't know
we
that
had no
we were
idea.
gonna-
So when we got on, I just saw cheap tickets. I was like, yeah, let's get these. Had no idea. So we
You
got
ever eat
on
an
there.
edible and you just get that heavy feeling in your eyes, and you're like, yeah, it's here.
Oh,
They,
yeah.
they
Yeah.
both are sitting
Yeah.
next to me.
You're like,
and
this plane isn't moving yet, but I'm getting pushed back into this seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the,
I was like,
yeah.
these
the
spiritual and
the
strangely
flight
that
attendant
comfy
comes
shit.
up and they do that stupid thing they do 1,000 times that they got to make sure everybody's safe and whatever. And the woman has the pamphlet upside down, and Nick the whole fucking time's like, she's got it upside down, and I was like, shut the fuck up. And he goes, she's not reading it. She can't read that thing. She doesn't know what we're supposed to do, Travis. And I was like, oh my fucking god, this is gonna be
And
terrible.
she's like, sir, are you able to do this? And I look at her and I start to laugh. I'm like, yeah.
Like 15 minutes into the flight, both of us are
Both of them are
sleeping.
dead.
Sleeping.
I'm
If
just sitting there
the
editing.
plane went down, we wouldn't have woke up till it crashed.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Hell no.
People would have had to crawl out over your body.
Yeah, like,
Still
like,
sleep, unfazed by this accident. Like, shit, that was a good nap. Oh my god, there's barbecue everywhere.
But no, but you mentioned earlier about how your brother had autism, and you said that you were stoked that you were able to.
So he has certain things that he does that relaxes him. Like if he's overstimulated, do you have certain things that you go to or that you have that you use?
No, for sure. Those fucking noise canceling headphones are fucking excellent. Like I get like nonverbal in airports. Like, well, it's not as bad anymore. I used to get nonverbal in airports fucking all the time because I like going through security. You have to take all of your electronics out of your bag, which I fly with a fucking camcorder, laptop, iPad, Nintendo Switch,
everything.
fucking chargers for everything.
I love my Switch.
Yeah, dude, I fucking Dora the Explorer that shit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I got to take all of that out, take my shoes off. People are all around me. There's noise coming from all different directions. It feels like everybody's staring at you because they're like fucking speed it up. So now I'm stimming worse. And now I'm like, now it's going to take me even longer to get everything in and out of my bag. So fucking this is on you.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, everybody just look away for 2 minutes. And we'll be fine,
Have you had a meltdown? Like a crazy meltdown? Like recently as an adult?
Not recently because I got TSA pre-check now, so I don't have to take shit out of my bag.
Nice.
I don't have to, you know. So
luxury, like it.
Fucking so worth it. It's much easier to get, and like I said, the noise canceling, like the over the ear, because like the little ones, you have to like I don't know, in the air, like they don't work as well, especially in like the crowd.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're like weird to keep track because I'm ADHD. If I set something down, it's fucking gone forever because of object permanence.
I could tell with your jacket when you were trying to find a spot that you knew where your jacket was going to be, and I go, I'll take that, and you go, fuck.
Yeah. Dude, fucking literally, that was fucking Travis take the wheel, dude. That was fucking.
I saw it, and I was like, I don't know if he knows he's going to get this back.
I keep looking for all of the shit I've squirreled away in this chair. I know it's in this chair. I know nothing has left this chair, but I still got to feel for it every now and then. I'll be like, wait, I got to check on my things, dude.
It's a security thing.
It is, dude. Object permanence, because otherwise it's gone forever. I had a vape exactly like this, except the body of it was white. And I lost it like 3 days ago. No idea where it is.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe you just left it in your lap and you got up and you just... Because I do that a lot. I've broken a lot of carts that way. Just forgetting and just poop shattering on the concrete.
Yep. I do that. I break shit constantly. I have a like a... What you call it? Like a... oral fixation.
Okay.
Hand-to-mouth movement.
Well, not just that, but also, like, I chew, I bite my nails,
dude,
like, all that kind of shit.
I have one of these, and that's...
Oh, yeah, okay, so what happened...
You want to play with it?
What happened on the...
Oh, fuck yeah. No, little fidget toy shit.
What happened on the pod...
It's like an infinity ring.
We were about to end the episode, and we were, like, about out of shit to talk about or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck is up with your fingernails, dude? And this is way back, and he's like, man, I do that for, like, anxiety, and, like, I can't stop it, so thanks for...
Dude, it's bad, like...
I was like, dude, your fingernails look like they went through a fucking dishwasher, dude.
No, garbage disposal, not
That's
a
even worse. Yeah, you do be
dude,
chewing.
My shit's getting like that.
Oh my gosh. No,
I want
to back to
your
meltdowns. Like, have you had a meltdown? Not recently, since you have TSA.
I've definitely flipped out and yelled at a lady in an airport and immediately apologized.
The audio guy in the back hated every second.
I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me say it again.
Nick's asking questions.
I could just see him with his headphones on, and this little old lady says something and just flips the fuck out.
No, like, because what happens is I get stuck in. Hold on, I'll say this again.
You're not even close to the mic.
I was doing the thing. No, what happens is sometimes, especially when I'm already like on the edge of like a meltdown, is I get stuck in like logic loops, right? So like I can't even remember what airport it was now, but there was an airport. I had just gotten this new piece of luggage. It was like this hybrid trunk luggage. So because I'm ADHD overpacker. Okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I didn't realize that was a part of my shit. Oh, I definitely.
Oh yeah. So I got this trunk that I could fit way more shit in. So it's like, okay, I'll check the trunk, all that kind of like, and then I've got my carry-on, right. I've got everything I'm going to need. The very first time we fly with this trunk that has to be checked, they lose my luggage. What? And this is an expensive fucking trunk. This was like one of those like first like it's like, okay, I live on the road. I'm making a little bit of money at this now. I want to buy something nice that's gonna be like it's a smart purchase because it's gonna make my life more convenient, right? So I spent a lot of money, and then they lose it. And so I'm talking to this lady, and she's like takes the little, like the ticket number for like lost luggage or whatever. And she's like, oh, it says that your luggage is here. It says that it was scanned on the conveyor belt. And I was like, well, we were here from the time the conveyor belt started to the time that it stopped. It never came off. Blah, blah, blah. We're looking for my luggage for hours at this airport. God. And we keep going back. She's like, well, it says it was scanned, so somebody got it. So I'm like, okay, so let's find somebody that can look at security cameras to find if somebody took my luggage.
Right.
They're like, well, we don't have anybody that can look at security cameras. And I was like, this is an airport.
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is an airport. Like, this is
people that get paid to do this.
This is Homeland Security home field advantage.
Right.
I'm pretty sure there are cameras in the bathrooms. There's nobody looking at any of these cameras, and she's like, no.
Oh my God.
So I was like, I feel so much safer right now. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
But she's like, yeah, so she's like, there's nobody looking at the cameras. And she's like, the only people who would be able to look at the cameras would be like the airport police. And I was like, so let's call them. And she's like, well, we can't call them. And I was like, so you're saying that my luggage was scanned at the conveyor belt. We were there the whole time. It never came on or off. We never saw it, which means that somebody grabbed it before we could see them with it and walked out with it, which means that they stole it. And I literally like had the receipt from like the 14 days before where I bought it or whatever. Right. And I was like, based on just the value of this is a felony. You know?
Yeah,
and I was like,
I've seen some of them trunks too that have like compartments where you can fit like 10 things. It's like shelves and you shrink it down and you put it in your bag.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane what shit is now.
Yeah, I've got some of those, like, fucking zip it, like, fucking compression and...
Crazy.
Yeah, so I'm fully in my head. I'm fully going, like, CSI, fucking all of this shit. I'm like, facial recognition. Yeah.
One hair follicle, we're going to run a DNA on this.
Yeah, exactly. Facial recognition. They put their cup in that trash can. Let's get DNA, fingerprints, let's do the whole thing. But just like literally, I just kept going in a circle in this argument with this woman, and I was like, "Well, if it's scanned at the belt, then it's this. Then it's been stolen. So we need to contact the police, right? And if it hasn't been stolen, then that means you lost it, and it's somewhere else,
right?"
And then turns out the entire time, like she was like, "Well, we didn't lose it because it was scanned at the belt." And turned out the entire time she was looking at the wrong luggage tag.
Oh my God.
Because me and my buddy Jake flew together. Like I paid for our tickets together. So when we checked in, both of our luggage tags were... Yeah. So they picked up Jake's luggage, which was right next to us the whole time. And the lady, like, because this was... by this time, I was dealing with the supervisor. But the first woman who had, like, looked at it... She was like, which luggage tag is it? And I was like, I don't remember because, like, I don't have the sticker anymore, but it's attached to my account.
Right.
And she was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, well, let me see his luggage tag. And then she looked at his luggage tag and then still selected his luggage tag.
Oh, my fucking God.
So I was like, so this whole time, we like literally 4 hours now... We have been, and so that was when I snapped, and I was like, nobody thought to just go back and double check.
It seems like you have problems that just take hours. You can't have one situation where you're like a 10-minute fixer, you're done.
Yeah, it's hours of adversity.
It's my fault though because I always start so timid because I'm one of those like. I have a hard time like speaking up for myself.
Yeah.
Like if I get my order wrong, I'm eating new food today.
I hate that.
I'm like,
I hate that too.
Yeah, I'm like,
or it's like, well, I'll just stop somewhere else later.
Nah, bro, I'm straight up
growing out of that.
Huh?
Nah.
Well, dude, it's because I grew up in a foster home. Not like in a weird way. Like it was my biological parents. They just turned our home into a foster home.
Okay.
So
I was like, what the fuck is a weird way?
What are you doing, foster bro?
Yeah, but so me.
No, chill out, bro.
So me and two like biological like siblings plus over a decade 44 foster siblings.
God damn.
Yeah, and then from there after high school the military. So I've always been in like
What
living
branch?
situation. Army.
Nice.
Full Forrest Gump, dude.
My brother's in the army.
Full Forrest Gump, dude. I've been working on this joke where I talk about like because I was in the army and I'm autistic, I'm basically real life Forrest Gump. Except I also have ADHD, which means I do all my running up here.
Nice. That's a good one.
I seen the one about the Dick Gump, or what was it?
Oh, the dicks thing.
Yeah,
that was from. I just reposted that.
Bubba Gump.
Yeah,
about dicks.
that was
You're the
from
Bubba Gump of dicks, is what it was.
That was from a show in Vegas where somehow dicks had come up earlier in the show, and at that point I had like ADHD gotten off topic, and I was like, "Fuck, what was I talking about again?" And that guy was like, "Dicks," and I was like.
And now I'm stuck on it. Thanks, guys.
Well, no, that was what I said. I was like, that's his special interest because I had said dicks earlier, and now he's stuck on him. It's like I want to talk about dicks, dude.
Talk about dicks.
But then, as I started listing them, like making the crowd work joke, at a certain point, I realized, like, oh wait, I feel like I know a lot about dicks.
Oh, so you've caught absolute fire on social media. Yeah, all over the fucking place. What was the one video that you think that really actually just fucking took you to a whole nother level? Like what maybe gave you? What gave you these?
I can tell you
advantages that you have now to where like you're opening for Bert Kreischer. We'll get to that too because that's nutty.
That is nutty. That is nutty. I feel like I've had a couple different ones like over time, and they all seem to like. So I don't know if I feel like the one that like more recently, I guess, put me on more people's radar, was the bullfrog laugh video.
Oh
like
my fucking god! I watched this. We had shout out bitches. We had bitches on the podcast.
I think that one has like 6 million views.
We had this girl named Braylon. Her nickname's Bitches. It's for her pronouns because she's not bitch, she's bitches. So her laugh was like a tea kettle, and it would just be a high whistle one. Yeah. So when I'm watching this, I'm laughing my fucking ass off. The laugh that this person made, he had the best time with this video because he's like, do it again. It's just like. That's the laugh, and then it would just like start to laugh, and it's like,
yeah, no,
it was crazy.
Well, and it was so. What's wild is it's like the person in the video is like a super fan of mine.
Hell yeah!
They had seen me at a like opening for Jay at a show in Oklahoma, like the year before, so like last year. Mm-hmm. And they had it was the same laugh, but they were sitting in the back of the room, and like the audio in the room like changed the sound of it by the time it got up to me. So I literally have like 2 different clips of me like making like doing jokes about her laugh. Yeah. But then this other one was a Don't Tell show in Columbus.
Nice.
So they came to see me in Columbus. And that one, they were sitting right in the front row. So that one, when she started laughing,
catch the laugh every time she's on.
Oh my god!
Just immediately putting the mic, and it was so good.
It was this like deep, raspy, just like
it was
so good. And I like legit. I think it's like the ADHD. It's like the squirrel thing, dude. Because I have so many different laughs.
Yeah.
Right, like depending on like the situation, like I make so many different sounds. So many different sounds come out of my body, dude. And so like when I hear them like in the wild at shows, like, oh, what was that one?
Yeah, that's definitely squirrel, golden retriever. Like, oh, we gotta get it. What's going on?
But so I think it's that. I think like that video, but I think that's the thing. Is like people can see the golden retriever energy is real.
Yeah,
like they can see how like actually excited I get.
That's
about it.
so good.
So
I want to dive into the opening up for Bert Kreischer because I watched that video a long time ago, and the face you made when you walked back out to them with all the flashlights coming up. Because I've been to 2 Bert Kreischer shows, and so seeing the ending and all the cool shit where everybody puts their phone lights up and he takes this photo, and then you see this beautiful thing at the end of it. being a part of that, the show, but in general, that photo. How was that experience for you?
I'm not sure.
Shut up, bitch.
Same though. I'm not sure right now. Dude, that entire, like, all of that is still surreal. Cause like there's a lot of like imposter syndrome that comes along with like finding success in something that is like hard to find success at. And I don't know, like just being on tour with Bert and like sitting, like the first time I walked onto the tour bus and they were like, "Oh, this is your bunk." And then I'm looking and I'm like, "Oh, that's my bunk." And then that's Bert's bunk.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, "Oh, I'm in close quarters
with the machine."
With the machine for the next week.
Just chilling.
And it's like, that's a real thing that's happening right now.
That's...
Yeah, and then there's also the in my head especially, it's like the a whole week if you're not too weird. You know what I mean? Because there's always that, like, you could be so weird right off the bat that they're just like, nah, this isn't gonna work.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's just like a tick.
It's like,
grab
we're gonna
dick.
get you.
I can't help it, bro. I can't help it.
There could be an entire like, let us grab you a hotel and a flight home, buddy. Do you know, like
what's your favorite story in that week? What's your favorite story of Bert? What was
dude? I
craziest?
could not tell you,
snore?
dude. It is still. I couldn't tell you. I prepared because I'm gonna be sleeping with a bunch of people, so earplugs, the whole just fucking. But like the entire experience was completely surreal. But I think like my favorite was after the arena. So going back all the way back, so the first show we did together was the night before that video. Okay. So the first show we did together was the night before at the Rosemont Theater in like outside Chicago. Yeah. So that's like a 2200 seat something theater. So that was my first time ever doing anything like that. Because like he said in the video, the next 400 people.
Yeah, 400 people was your top.
So all of a sudden I'm in this theater and it like the 400 people thing was outside. So it didn't even sound like 400 people or feel like, you know. And so this is like, oh shit. There's 2,000, like the furthest person out of 2,000 people away from me, I could still hit with like a football. If I might need a little goose step, but I can get it there. Okay. You know what I mean? It feels like they're on you,
they're like on top of you.
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit. And so I also felt like because the sound is different, like with that many people, like you tell a joke, for the joke to like hit them and everybody front to back to laugh, and then that laughter to wave back to you. So that first night I felt like I was doing horrible. Right? I felt like my timing was off. I didn't even get to finish like my closing joke because I wasn't timing it right. Well, it turns out the timing was off because people were laughing so hard. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome. Nice. But then the next night when we did the arena, which was 11,000 people.
Holy.
You go from 400 to 2,000 tripping to 11,000 people.
Well, okay, but the wild part is like the things that your brain like what's the fucking, there's a term for this.
Smart
give me a
guy.
second.
Think
I'm
about
doing
it.
the ADHD thing.
You got to give me
your
something.
brain just has to like immediately accept like this is what's happening. You just got to go with it. It's
clueless.
Radical acceptance.
Sure.
There's this thing called radical acceptance where like at a certain, like in certain situations or certain things, your brain is just like, this is our situation now.
Yeah, it's like if you get rained on a little bit, it sucks, but then you get poured on, you're like, all right, fuck.
Right.
That makes sense. That makes sense for our job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. You're running through the rain and trying to get inside. You're like, oh fuck, I'm already wet. Now we're dancing in the rain. Radical acceptance. So it's kind of that. It was like, okay, that happened. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So now we're here. But then the subtle versions of that, because then like the next night they're literally underneath this arena, because the night after the first show, like we hang out, we like shower in like the backstage, like they have dressing rooms and shit like around the green room for all of us. There's food, everything is taken care of. There's a dude in the green room cooking stone-fired pizzas in Chicago, like the most perfect Chicago pizza I've ever had. Fucking shout out my dude Professor Pizza.
Need to hit him
Professor
up.
Pizza on Instagram.
You ate all this before the show?
So good. Like during the day, like he was literally there when I got there at like 3 in the afternoon.
Whipping up, dude.
Just whipping them up,
dude.
Damn.
So yeah, like literally, I get there like from the airport. They flew me into Chicago. I like Uber over. Like they tell me exactly where to get dropped off. I get taken through security into the back of the Rosemont Theater, like past the bus. Just suitcases and all into the green room where Bert Kreischer and Dave Williamson, the other comic that was on tour with us, them and like the Professor Pizza guy and all of the crew are just back there eating pizza.
Just
like they're already double fisting pizzas, and Bert's like, "Oh, good to see you, dude. Fucking get in here, like grab food." So now we're just fucking eating pizza and talking and just fucking having. And now I'm just here.
Yeah, that was your first time meeting Bert?
I had met Bert, like been introduced to Bert in Nashville as part of the Nashville Comedy Festival, like at one of like the after party events.
Okay.
So I'd been introduced to Bert, like things like that. Like
but you never
twice.
kicked it with him like that?
No, the closest was one of the after party events. Like I was introduced to him at like the bar part, like after party, and then one of the other after party events was at Zany's, and it was just all of us, like the comics and the staff all hanging out.
Right.
And Bert literally brought one of his like El Blunto blunts and lit it and was passing it around, just yelling El Blunto and just handing it.
El Blunto.
Yeah, it was getting passed around like a beach ball at like a Jimmy Buffett show,
cool.
dude.
So coming back up to the stage after that.
Okay, so the after the theater show in Rosemont, we shower, we get all on the bus and stuff like that. We hang out on the bus. Like Bert and Dave are drinking. I don't drink, so I'm smoking a little bit of weed. Bert's a lightweight when it comes to weed, so he takes like a puff or two, you know. But we're just hanging out, shooting the shit. Like everybody on the bus that's with us, which is his tour manager Amanda, assistant Pete, like the camera guy. Like we're all there, so we're just all shooting the shit, talking, and like the bus driver gets there around like 3:30 in the morning, and like basically 3 a.m. whatever lights out is, we get in our bunks, the bus starts heading to the next city. So we wake up in the next city and they've got like our day stuff set up under the arena. So they have like lunch catered there, like we have showers, all that kind of stuff.
Holy
set
It's
up
a wild life.
Right. Like the venue is the hotel. Basically. And we shower, do all that stuff there, and just sleep on the bus in between places.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a
It's
wild
super sweet.
life.
Seems like
dude.
pretty smooth too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have people doing the certain jobs where it's just like you can do and party and do your shit, and then lights out, and then you wake up and you have to basically. I guess it could almost suck if it wasn't fun, but then you restart that thing all over again. You get up and you get the same fucking treatment in a different spot, kind of deal.
Yeah, it can get like exhausting, but it's also so much fun, and it's all like the people that you're with.
Right. That's why I was like, if it didn't suck and it wasn't fun, that would suck. But that sounds like the best time. You restart and you're in a fucking like bachelor party kind of deal.
Well,
you're
and
like,
also,
fuck it, dude, let's go.
And
town.
also, like getting to spend like time with Bert like that. Like Bert is so underratedly sweet of a human being. Like he's just so genuinely nice.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just so fucking fun to just shoot the shit and hang out and like have fun. And,
Hell yeah.
You know, and so we're under the arena, and they're literally building like the stage and putting the lights and stuff up and doing all of that as we're just like kind of walking around, hanging out, getting food. So I'm watching everything get built, and once it was like kind of set up enough that I could climb up on the stage and like get the feel for it. As I'm looking around, I'm like, it didn't feel bigger than the theater.
Okay. That's
Right, so it's like, okay, I understand conceptually that it's more people, but like the radical acceptance of like, but it doesn't, looking around, like I feel like I have the same range of vision,
right.
So for me, it doesn't feel bigger.
Okay.
And that just fucking, I was like, okay. And then it was just like that arena night was off to the races, dude. It was insane. It was
And then you got brought back up on the stage after Bert got done with
which
this thing.
they did. We didn't do the night before in the theater. Like, so I didn't know
you weren't
that
prepared
was going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come back up and there's 11,000.
Like, literally,
2 hands of pizza.
Literally,
It's like, dude, I'm back here with this deep dish from Chicago, bro. Like, what do you need me up here for?
Literally, I was back. Well, no, the deep dish was in Chicago the night before. We didn't have pizza, but I was literally in the back, like under the arena, like with Dave. I was literally like vape in hand, like taking a huge rip, and like all of a sudden, the tour manager Amanda was like, "Hey, get ready, side stage. Bert's done in 2 minutes, and he's gonna call you guys up." Like you and I was like, "Wait, what's gonna happen?" So now I'm like, and I'm still like sweating from my set because I pour sweat. It's like one of the anxiety things.
Right.
Dude. And so now like I'm like trying to grab like a towel from like backstage. I'm trying to like towel the mullet and like all this kind of shit. And yeah, then he called us back out and like the lights were all fucking, everybody's phones were lit up, and it was insane.
Yeah, I could tell the overdone thought process. You were just like, holy fuck. Like, I'd imagine going in there, seeing the people would be one thing, but then seeing the aftermath of it, lights out, all lights flashing back at you, 11,000, you were like, holy fuck, there's 11,000 lights looking at me. Like, this is crazy.
Like seeing people, like, because getting to peek and stuff as the, like, people are filling in and, like, before the show starts, you're like, okay, you realize it's a large amount of people. But as they're all talking to themselves and stuff like that, like, you get, like, there's, like, a buzz. You know what I mean? Like, you can hear, like, and you could just feel the energy was, like, good going into it. And then when you go on stage, like, the lights are so bright, you can only see so far.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know?
Before it gets too dark, before you can see, yeah.
That makes sense when I'm in the those bleachers, they don't do crowd work with me. That
and I'm pretty sure
you can't see past the little light sources.
Right. And like from watching like Dave set from behind the curtain, you see it kind of like the comic sees it. Like you can see a little bit better because the lights aren't right in your face. Mm-hmm. But still, you're like, oh, like you can see that dark space in the center where you're like, okay, there's the sweet spot where you're performing to the ether. Mm-hmm. But then once you come off stage, like once my set's done, I'm like, okay, I'll go around to the side and watch where like some of the other crew people are watching from. And from there, you can see people. Like you can see faces and you can see everybody that's making the buzzing noise, like paying attention.
And you're like, thank God I didn't get to see that shit while I was doing that, bro.
Yeah.
Like take everybody out of this, so I'm just like in a fucking like lit wall. And then as soon as I get out, I go, oh my God, these are the people I was doing this shit to?
Yeah.
Dude, when the phone started lighting up and you actually... Because, like I said, the night before, it didn't feel bigger than, like, the 2,000 people.
Right.
But when the phone started lighting up and you're like, that's more than 2,000.
That's when everybody's, like, identity kind of popped up. And you're like, I'm right here. And you're like...
Yeah, you get, like, a roll call and you realize how many people just sat and, like, enjoyed listening
and loved
to you
your
talk.
jokes. Unbelievable.
What?
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And kind of going back into that deal of you growing up and like trying to find fit and we'll talk. I'm so glad it's been like an hour at least in this podcast where we haven't brought this shit up yet about how like, oh, you were diagnosed and this and that. Because like I like to do research on the peoples and everybody else here does. But we were listening to the podcast and it's like the first 15 minutes of a podcast that you just talking about how like, hey, you were diagnosed with autism. How did that feel? And so you talking about how like you felt accepted and like these people giving you money for your special, then you're going out here and you're performing for 11,000 fucking people. These kind of things really do matter in your life.
No, for like literally, it's been like almost like in video games, like hitting like certain like checkpoints or like save points where you're like, oh, like I am like this much socially accepted. Do you know what I mean? I am at least this much good at my job.
That's sick.
Like you're discovering your stats.
Huh?
Yeah. You're kind of discovering your stats.
Well, not just that, but it's like once you know, like literally once like doing a show in front of 11,000 people, getting that kind of response from 11,000 people, it's like, okay, that wasn't too big for me. I can do that again.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Dope.
Right.
So then it's like, okay, now I'm less anxious to do it the next time. Like, not that I'm not gonna be anxious, because it's like that Incredible Hulk shit. Like that's my secret. I've always, but like that. I'm a little less anxious the next time, and it's maybe not less anxious, but like more like confident that I can beat it.
Yeah,
I guess.
What's not end game? What's your goal? What's that goal? What's that spot? What's that place that you want to know that you hit, and then you can take like a fucking month off and be like, I'm this person now. Is it like the Garden or shit like that? Like where do you want to perform? That's going to be that highlight moment to where like that save spot in your campaign where you're like, I can go back to this and know I'm that dude.
I don't know. It's not something that I want to quit. That's not the save point. It's more like
if you ever get down, you can look back and be like, I performed here.
It's more like the progression is confidence.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's so much imposter syndrome that comes in with it that when it's like, okay, I just did that in front of 11,000 people. And it was one of those things where like Bert brought us on stage, we had all of that kind of shit, but like that wasn't even the best part.
Right.
Dude, like the best part was after, like we're back under the arena after Bert closes out the show. Mm-hmm. Like he comes back into like the main green room area where the food is, and he's only got a couple minutes. That's like his time to like reset, like get his head right, because like there's like groups are gonna start coming for like meet and greet kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so he's like as a comic, and like most live performers will understand, like usually like right before you go on and right after you come off, those are like you were saying, like with rituals, it's not that it's like a specific like act, but there's like that specific window where it's like, all right, now's where I'm getting my headspace.
Yeah, you can.
I'm starting to think about a little bit. Where it's that's like that window of radical acceptance on both ends. Okay, you know what I mean?
Okay,
the radical acceptance of like, you hate this, but you are about to go out in front of a bunch of people, and the whole time your brain is going to think they all hate you, but they don't. They don't hate you. Okay. Some of them might hate you eventually,
but don't worry about them.
But the rest of them came to see you. They want to be here with you, and so it's like. So there's just that little moment where you're like kind of pep talking yourself in your head, and then like, okay, now that we got that done, what am I actually going to do?
Yeah.
And so there's that, and then coming off, it's like, okay, so that happened.
Right.
And you go over it. And so, but just the fact that, like, while Bert is taking that time, like, we're down there, me, him, Dave, and the rest of, like, the crew, and he literally, like, stops and he's like, hey, AJ, like, I got to tell you, we were talking while you were on stage. Like me and literally like the entire team at this point, like I didn't realize it, but all of a sudden it's a huddle. Everybody's like circled up. And he's like, I wanted to let you know, like while you were on stage, we've been doing arenas and stuff for a long time. And all of us, like me, like my tour manager, like it's been a long time since we've heard openers get that kind of like pops in an arena like this.
That's insane.
And when you hear words like that,
and that's
from somebody that you respect, like Bert, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, oh, that means I'm actually good at
You're
this.
doing the shit,
right? You know, so there's like shit like that, and like I said, like it wasn't like it was like an end of the night on the bus, like a hey, by the way,
good job,
kind of thing. It was, do you know what I mean?
It was a moment to where he was able to take that time to be like, if I got 10 minutes, I'm gonna take at least 5 and just let this guy know that he just fucking smoked this place. That's awesome.
It's LeBron still hasn't gotten his post game shower yet. It's like but and they haven't let the press into the room yet. He's got that couple minutes of decompression.
Yeah.
Like, hell of a game, kid.
And
it's like, fuck, dude.
I love that.
That is
so
awesome.
dope,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like he didn't have to do that.
No. He took the time out of his day to be like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that this guy
you officially
knows.
got it. Dude.
Yes, I've been waiting for it. I seen it building up. Round of applause for the tier. Yeah.
Yay.
I saw it right there, and I was like, no way, is he really gonna drop tears? Let's fucking go.
I was waiting for it earlier.
Because legit, like that
It's
was
beautiful,
the night.
though.
Because that was like literally hitting like 2 milestones like back to back in a row. Do you know
11,000
what I mean?
people, and then after you finish
me
that,
already having the oh shit, I did that. Like I did that, I can do that again.
Right. And
then having somebody be like Bert be like, not only did you do that, you did that incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like, you did that impressively well.
That's
to be like, what the fuck?
That's unbelievable. I love that so much for you. Because as a dude that is consistently posting on social media, traveling all over the fucking place, if anybody deserves it.
Have you met Tom Segura then?
I have not met Tom. I haven't met any of those other guys. I've met Bert, obviously.
Tears show that one.
I've met Theo a couple times, like at Zany's and around Nashville.
He's a big Theo guy here.
Yeah, no conversations. Like I don't know him or anything, but he had literally just in passing dapped us up.
Hey man, how's it going?
He's definitely got Florida man energy, so it definitely shows.
Dude, yeah.
All you gotta do is, I'm from Florida. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, well, dude, I like interacting with other mullets because I love meeting other autistic people, and dude, and I like, dude, I don't know if you know this, but if we braid them together like them fucking avatars, dude, we can just that's a hard link, download link, dude. That's faster speeds than Bluetooth.
Maybe you can give some to me, I tell you that much. You got bigger words than me, dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's beautiful, though. That's really awesome.
Oh, fuck.
And so what gave you, and we'll get off of this because I don't want to talk too much about this shit because we still got to talk about, your diagnosis if you don't know. We have to talk about how you have autism. What gave you that opening to being in that work with Bert?
Nashville, dude. Zany's in Nashville has been my home base, the staff and the people who own and work at Zany's, and they've just all taken care of me.
Hell yeah.
The first time I ever got booked at Zany's Comedy Club, because I'd been trying to come and do a new material Monday for a long time, and I finally got booked to do a TV taping for the Circle Network that the Opry owns.
Okay.
And it I literally taped my very first my television debut with my best friend Jake. We were on the same episode, same taping night, everything.
Oh, that's dope.
And that night, I was the last comic on that taping that night. And when I came off stage, the booking manager of Zany's, Lucy, grabbed me and literally by the collar and pushed me up against a wall and literally said, "You're a fucking star."
That's beautiful.
And so they pulled me aside at the end of the night, her and the Dorfmans and stuff who own the Zanies, and they're incredibly sweet, amazing, loving people. Andrew and Brian Dorfman are
shout out.
Yeah,
shout out.
Lucy,
shout out.
Lucy,
Lucy Chef's
and no, they just from that they were no, we're gonna help you basically they develop comics, and they were immediately they're we got you. So they've been helping me ever since, with bookings and with figuring out all of the business stuff, and they're just so incredible, dude.
That's awesome.
That's so
fuck
dope,
yeah, bro.
dude.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna get emotional again.
Hell yeah. Just do it. Let her rip.
No,
bro.
they literally
I celebrated the first two. The rest of it's just peaceful.
Lucy and Andrew are two of the producers of my special. Lucy books all of my stuff for me. They have literally from day one, the day that I met them, they have been we've got you, and they've treated me like family ever since. And that is,
that's so good. Yeah. That's so good. You can tell you've been hanging out with Bert for a week. You start crying a little bit.
I'm already over emotional, and I took my medicine today. So. Yeah, guess who's regulated and feeling feelings today?
No, Corey Ray, I want to throw it at you real quick because this man is a man of few words, but he has a knowledge like you wouldn't believe. So I want to throw it at him because the way this podcast works, sometimes when we start talking and shit, I cut this man the fuck off.
No, I can tell we're all autistic.
Yeah. A little bit.
He was like my brother, and I was like, he ain't the only one. And,
Well, I want to give it to Cody very quick because I want to make sure he gets his words out on this for sure. What do you have any questions for this man, AJ?
I already asked it. I was gonna ask what his best show, memorable show is, but it seems like you already gave us that one.
Tears? Did his tears show that one?
Yeah.
Is it
you want to taste them?
I think it's it's definitely the arena. I think it's definitely the in order. I would say top 10 would be the arena, all those theater shows, and the first time I ever went on tour with Jay to feature for him, it was at the Tampa Improv, and it's built in an old stage play theater, and it's 3 stories high, so all of the laughs come out and just go to the ceiling. So again, it sounds like you're bombing.
Yeah.
And so the first time I was ever on the road with Jay, my whole set I thought I was bombing, and then when I was and it was only a 2-man show, so no host, and I have to stay on this stage to introduce Jay. So I was like, all right, thanks so much. I'm AJ Wilkerson. Went to grab the mic stand, and I turned back around, and people are standing up. I'm getting a standing ovation. And I was like, oh, shit.
That is pretty awesome.
So, so there's that, shit like that. And then, dude, but the special tapings, dude, all 3 nights were just fucking, I don't know, magic. At the very last, possible second, there was an issue. The host that we had booked had to drop out. And so one of my good buddies who's, been, a comedy big bro, give me advice and, looked out for me since I started all, way back in Florida, Cam Bertrand, who's been, on, America's Got Talent and has, a dry bar, 2 dry bar specials now. He's so incredibly funny. He just happened to we were filming in St. Pete in his backyard. He lives in Tampa. And so our host had to cancel last minute, and Cam was just dude, I love you to death. I will come and host for you for your special. I will come do something absolutely beneath me because I believe in you so much.
So
and it's that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Pretty awesome.
And so I had this I don't know, it was perfect. I had this comedy big brother there every night of my taping. I had my best friend Jake there for me every night of my taping. I had Lucy there, and I don't know, just it was incredible. And people from the Kickstarter that donated money and stuff like that, some of those rewards included tickets and stuff for the and so they flew out and came to all 3 shows for the entire weekend.
That's dope.
That is
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just I couldn't have asked for a better anything. Do you know? It just went exact.
You know what's the crazy part in all this is that this is going to be your first special.
I know.
This is you haven't even really opened the door for what you're about to do.
Dude, that's what's wild is, so I got the first special recorded, and now I've been getting to play around and work on, and I already have got a new hour pretty much mapped out, ready to go.
You already have a whole new hour done after that hour?
Yeah. Dude, I've been because after I got it filmed, I was immediately okay, I have to have new material for when this comes out. So I just immediately I started work, took some old stuff that I didn't record and started playing with some of that along with some new stuff that I already had ideas for, and literally filmed my special in St. Pete. Stayed an extra day with my director and producer, Matt and Josh, and we offloaded, made sure all the footage got onto 3 different hard drives, so we had clones of everything, backups.
Gotta have the backups.
And then they flew out. I drove back from Florida back up to Indiana. To towards Jake's house.
Okay.
And leaving Florida though, I stopped in Atlanta to pop in and do a drop-in guest spot at Laughing Skull in Atlanta, and did an entirely new 15 minutes that night. Literally 2 nights after my special, I just hit a mic and did brand new 15 minutes. And then crushed it, and then Immediately went to Star Bar on the other side of Atlanta. Like, another comic was like, oh, you should go to this show. They'll definitely give you a spot too.
Right.
They put me up over at Star Bar, did the new material again, like a little more polished up. And I was like, fuck, we're off to the right. You know what I mean? And
Right.
Hell yeah.
That's
like,
what, like, the work has just begun. I'm so fucking stoked.
But that's why you wanted to talk about, like, that improvised set that I put out on YouTube. Like that.
Look at this guy reading and shit.
I know, dude. I read good, dude. I fucking.
I mean, I ain't saying you couldn't read. I'm just saying you know bigger words than I do. That's what I'm saying. I need to twirl this up so I can get maybe a little bit of knowledge.
I ain't dumb, dude. Fucking no, but like,
yeah, that was impressive. I would have you know that,
dude. That is because of my dude Jake, Jake Rubel. Like,
we got to get Jake on the pod.
I know.
We tried to get Jake on the pod when he was around this area, and
because Jake is like a laid back storyteller, dude.
Stoner hippie, dude.
Stoner hippie, dude. Just recently started smoking weed again because he's sober from everything else. I'll let him tell all of his shit, but that's my boy. I love him to death. But when we started traveling together and stuff, like especially when we first started, I was very much like these are my jokes. These are the order I'm going to tell them in. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do write out jokes, but I would do like a set list. Mm-hmm. Every night I'd have to make a set list.
Like your songs kind of do.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. And when I started traveling with Jake is like you said, stoner hippie, but he's also like a Deadhead. Like, he's a huge Grateful Dead guy. And Grateful Dead is like a jam band.
Yeah. And
that is kind of Jake's approach to stand-up. He's like very loosey-goosey with it. He's like, these are the stories I'm going to tell you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be very loosey-goosey with like you know what I mean?
Right.
It kind of changes a little bit. The order switches up. He may tell something that he's never told before, like things like that. And he's so good at it. And so watching him do it, like, there'd be times where I started trying to do it a little bit more. And then I started like realize like, oh, I can do that too. Like, I can do that thing where it's like, I kind of know what I want to talk about. Let me just go see what happens.
Yeah, and you can pivot off of whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
And once I realized I could like actually do it, I was like, oh, we're off to the races.
And then you ended up going on to that show, which I wanted to bring it up, is you put up you had to let everybody know this wasn't your special.
Yeah.
And, which was great, because when I watched it, I was like, if anybody thinks that this is AJ's special, they don't understand comedy specials at all, because it's just like the fucking right side of the room in the back, just one shot video of him just with like a pole right there. I'm like, if this is what he spent all that funding on, bro, I'm asking for a fucking refund immediately.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not what everybody spent their money on. No, that was after Bert. Like, literally, we got booked a bunch of shows in Michigan because, like, the arena we did with him was in Grand Rapids.
Nice.
So we booked a bunch of stuff, like sold out 2 shows in Grand Rapids, and then this brewery reached out to us, like, south of Kalamazoo in Paw Paw, Michigan.
Yeah, Paw Paw.
They're like, hey, we do live entertainment.
Paw Paw.
Like, we want to do a show with you. And like, just started this whole process, and we're like, let's just do it. And the am I doing something wrong?
No, not you. It's Cody Ray's dumbass.
I accidentally hit my mic. I accidentally tapped it.
Blew up my head.
I look over at Theo and he goes,
I fucking had like fucking recoiled.
He's in the middle of this story and I don't know where.
Hey, we can edit this. We got.
Oh, I don't know if you understand. No. We don't edit shit.
I'm not doing
anything.
We
get the beginning and the end, and you get everything in between.
I like that.
I just look busy.
I like that, dude.
Meat and potatoes.
That's what the YouTube thing is. All right.
Hell yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It was the end of. I put it like the captions up to kind of just give it a little bit of context, and it was just like, it was the last show at the end of like this brutal travel week. None of us were feeling it. It was just, you know what I mean? Like, everybody was feeling like garbage, like hungover, but not hungover.
Yeah, hungover kind of deal. Yeah. Which sucks.
Jet lagged, road weary, whatever you want to call it. You know, and then me and Jake just started that, like, this, just being silly, and then got like called like a group huddle in the back in like the green room they had set up for us, and basically just hyped us the fuck up. And then, like, our host went on to start the show. Our other buddy went out, like did his spot. Me and Jake went out back and started he was smoking a cigarette. I don't think he was smoking weed at the time. No, that was the weekend he started smoking weed again. So he was smoking.
So that's where the
dude.
improvised coming. He goes, fucking this shit ripped today, dude.
So we literally were out back getting ripped. And he's like, we're still hyping each other up, and now we're making each other laugh, and that's just like you know what I mean? Just best friend shit, dude. We're just fucking giving each other shit and all this, and he was just like, fuck yes. Goes inside and then just all of a sudden just does a completely new 25 minutes, like starts like with something happened with the crowd, starts from there and then just goes off on this complete tangent, does no material, crushes, gets a standing ovation.
Standing ovation?
Like, yeah, like it's like because of where the camera is, that's like the weird part about standing ovations, and it sucks when you're setting up cameras is sometimes the people in the front don't see it. So, like, the front 6 rows won't see everyone behind them standing up.
Okay, yeah. You know, that's fair. That's fair.
Hilarious.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Just the front rows are all dicks.
Yeah. Well, and because we didn't know what we were expecting, like, we got paid, like, a flat rate to do a brewery show. So we're like, this is one of those, they just have live entertainment. Who knows how many people's going to be here? Like, I don't know how many people are going to show up to this town outside of Kalamazoo for me.
Right.
You know, sold out. So there's nowhere to put the camera except for like right by the kitchen door, which is also where like the ramp that goes up to the stage starts.
It's such a great setting. When I started watching this, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's such a weird camera. It looks like it was shot on like one of those nanny cams or something, dude. It's
so good.
Yeah, it looks like bad security footage. Like they'll show you on a news, on the news, like the FBI is trying to locate this man.
Right. My favorite part is that you had to actually explain to people, like, hey guys, this isn't my special. This is just a really good clip that I had a lot of fun with. I think you guys will enjoy. And it was like, no shit. Hopefully everybody else thinks that same thing.
Yeah, dude, no, the special is going to be insane.
I'm excited for that.
It's just so like getting to see it, like going through the process and like getting to watch like my with my producer and like kind of timestamp and like go through and look at things, just seeing like only one of the shows was color graded. Everything I've seen so far has been like in a multicam view, so it's all like small of each, but it just looks so good and I'm so happy.
I'm excited for you. You don't have a date yet. What is the name of that?
The name is Captain Autism.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck
Named it Captain Autism.
Nice. I hope you get a rip of you like Captain Underpants, but it's you, and it just has like an A right in the front. Hey, just an idea. Throw it out there. Yeah. You could do it. Hey, I'm just giving you free. There it is, right there. Yeah, I think that would be fucking hilarious. Because that's the only books I could read growing up, so that's the only thing I can go on. Fuck yeah, dude! Captain Underpants was the shit, dude.
Captain Underpants was hard.
Hell yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that said,
Scholastic Book Fair ass books, dude.
Fuck, dude, the book fair was the shit.
Animorphs, dude, and fucking
that shit was great. No, so we're getting to a point in the pod now where we kind of like throw it back your way a little bit, and what we have on this pod is called Cracking Questions. It's where the fans ask us questions, and dirty, clean in between. It doesn't matter. We just get questions asked to us, and we'll answer them. Doesn't matter. So we throw it at our guests, non-prepped at all. We ask you, what is your cracking question that you would ask the goons here? Any question at all. Except for what do you see in the future of this podcast? We get that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You
get that a little bit.
You get that one quite a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any question you can think of. Get them wheels turning.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
Yeah, no, you weren't. Nobody is. It's great. That's my favorite part of this.
Chris Hansen me.
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Yeah.
You know why we're here.
You know why we're here?
How many people have died in this basement? I feel like
6.
This place actually used to be like the Stones, because he did research, because he booked up here a couple months ago. He did research into like there's a stone outside that has some sort of like company on it. He just got bored to start looking up shit. He found out that place made like headstones for like funerals and shit. Whatever.
No, not like headstones. It's like they made like a lot of memorials, and then like I can't remember what they're called, but the
big ass buildings.
Yeah, they're like in the
like the stones with the swinger pineapples on them.
Shut the
Like
fuck
a
up.
I mean, they might have made those. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what
like
it's called.
fancy fountains.
No. Like the big,
Well,
the
they
big
probably
building.
did. They made like a lot of marble and like stonework.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
very famous for it.
Yeah. That's where like the big
here?
buildings. Yeah.
You live in a
What's the-
famous dude's house.
What are the places called at the graveyards?
Mausoleum.
Mausoleums.
Like those things, like they look like the little buildings.
Yeah.
Like those things. They made a lot of those and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that
all
used
over
to
the
be done
world.
here.
and
Wait,
shipped
this is
it.
like one of the oldest homes in this town.
Dude,
How
there's
could-
so much?
It's like it's called
neurodivergency in
Hughes
this room
Granite
right now.
Co. or something like that.
Fantastic.
That's a big ass word. What does that
You
even
say
mean?
neurodiverse.
Autistic, ADHD.
Neurodivergent.
Oh, no, that works perfectly. Yeah.
Everyone's autistic. No.
Cody Ray got
This
autism.
is a room of autism, dude.
Cody Ray got autism.
I mean,
So no, okay. So
Like it's like Cody's got the tism on him. Dude. You got it too. What are you talking shit for?
yeah,
I said both of you. So autistic, he missed that part. Dude.
there we are.
I
There
think
we
I'm
are.
worse than him then.
yeah, they built.
You're not worse. You just sound like it because of the tongue ring. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just put that in recently. What? You had it off for a minute.
I've had it out for a minute. I've had it in for a minute.
He likes
You
to
hear it? You hear it now?
So what?
Also, the thing he does when he's waiting his turn,
Yeah.
that's the golden retriever energy, dude.
Yeah,
That's like
100%.
he's waiting patiently for his treat, dude, but he's licking his lips because he
I
wants
was
you to
like,
know
hey,
he's ready
I already
for
went
it.
to the
Dude.
bathroom, bro. Just give it to me
Well,
already.
a lot of times when he starts a sentence, he'll just keep running the shit, and then if nobody heard it, he'll run it again, and he'll keep running it again, and running it again until
Oh,
he gets
same.
it. So it's like, yeah, so it's a golden retriever,
Insanity.
1,000%.
So same as like the logic loops where
Yeah.
it's like okay, but if this equals this, then this should equal this. So
Yeah.
why doesn't this equal this? And
yeah,
you just
that's
But
exactly how.
Not
it is.
only
Yeah.
that, but also sometimes I get like this broken record thing where I'm trying to say like I can't not say the thing until I get the full sentence out uninterrupted.
That's him, 1,000%,
Yeah.
1,000%.
I might have to go get tested.
Yeah,
It's like a yawn. You gotta
It's like you're
finish
getting
it.
tested for
Yeah,
AIDS.
you mean between the tongue ring and the fidget toy you didn't already know?
I had no idea.
Captain Autism
when
just
we
serving
first-
it out, dude.
Literally within 30 seconds of meeting you, I was like, "Oh, he's one of ours." And then when
He's one of the good guys.
and then one of the first full sentences you said to me was, "You're like, oh, so my little brother has autism," and I was like,
Yeah, they told you the little brother. Yeah.
"Y'all got autism."
He said, "Why you trying to find me a little brother, man?"
Yeah, dude.
He said, "You think only your little brother got that shit? That's funny
Yeah.
as hell."
It's like both of you got pockets full of hot merchandise, but you're going, "Ooh, he's still in." Sorry to yell in your ear.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Did you just rag on your brother growing up the entire time too? Okay,
No,
good.
We didn't know how to rag on him.
Oh,
Well, and there
fuck.
was like a 12-year age gap between us two.
Yeah. So, is that your cracking question, or do you have is there another question you want to ask? Do you want to
bought
know how
some
many people
time.
died?
You
Yeah,
threw me off.
yeah,
Ooh,
You did throw me off.
yeah. I'll bring it right back.
Ooh, who's your dream get? Ooh, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Because I feel like that also might be a question.
It
we
has.
get a lot.
Well, it was back in the
Okay,
day, but yeah.
So let me rephrase.
Okay.
Who is the get that? Who is the guest that you want to get? That like right now, if you were drunk enough, you'd have the confidence to shoot your shot in their DMs.
Ooh.
Like sexual wise, or
No,
like,
guest on the
Like,
podcast.
as
Like,
a guest.
if you just
Yeah,
get in and you're like,
I don't know if
"Hey."
I rubbed my wedding ring. I was like, man, this is a question to ask him for shooting my shot right now.
No, like if you were just lit enough that you're like, you know what, fuck it, come be on our podcast.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
tough.
That is a good one. We haven't.
That's
had
a
that
real
one
good
yet.
one.
I feel like that's very different from all of ours that we already answered. His was Theo Von. I think yours was Bert, wasn't it? I think yours was Bert.
Probably, but like that was like the dream guess.
Yeah,
like, if
yeah.
you
But
could
like,
have
so
a
like
dream
those are
guess.
very different compared to the drunk. Like, come on.
No, I completely.
Like, you
know
have
what
to
you
have
mean,
a line
because as
of
somebody
contact to them.
who's just now starting my podcast, I've got to have that. Like, okay, how far along do I have to get this before I actually like use this?
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? Because
No,
I don't want to be the guy that always is asking for shit.
I know. Ron White for sure.
All right.
I'd get smacked.
Yeah, dude, I love Ron White.
The whiskey glass does it for me every time, dude.
Okay. God
So
damn.
definitely don't let him
Get drunk.
use
and
the
shoot him
Instagram.
They'll have access.
Ron, I was sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos, and I was just thinking, man, you'd be a great guest.
Dude. Ron, I was just sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos, watching you tell a story about sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos, and I think you would be the perfect guest to have on our
I think you're
podcast.
the one, man.
And I think we should sit naked on beanbag chairs and eat Cheetos.
Just one of the censored bars over top of the lap the whole fucking
The whole
time.
time and we don't have our own bag of Cheetos. We're just reaching in the middle.
Everybody's finger licking and just grabbing the same one.
No, fuck that. I dibs. No. Okay, so weird. If we're going back to the like the fucking save points and like the, do you know what I mean? Like fucking
Yeah. Like the accolades. Type
yeah,
of
like
deal.
Okay, okay, yeah.
not accolades, I guess, but just like
the prizes in a sense, like your life prizes.
Like
Like,
those-
yeah, I can take this. Like, yeah, awesome.
yeah,
This happened.
like there's just those confidence marker things. Was a club in Naples. I got booked at the last minute, like to fill in, for the last night of Ron White headlining. He did these check drop spots,
Nice.
right? Because normally if you're headlining at clubs, like when you hit like the 45-minute mark, servers start dropping checks off at tables.
Yeah.
So people are filling out checks and like,
That's the great
we're gonna-
time.
how are
That's
we
the
gonna
fun
split
time.
This? And,
Yeah.
yeah. So Ron White has the club hold the checks until he's done, and then has another comic come on to close the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do like 20 minutes
Yeah.
or whatever. So I filled in doing a closing spot for Ron White.
Okay.
Dude, that's
And-
so dope.
Yeah. And that was cool because Ron White, like the blue collar guys, like Jeff Foxworthy, Bill
Yeah.
Engvall,
Right,
all
right,
of
right,
them,
right.
like that. Those were the guys. Like my dad was so into them.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
how I
You know,
got put on.
My dad
Jeff
had
Same.
my dad had the
Here's your
CD
sign.
that we would listen to in the
Same.
truck.
Also, the cassette tapes,
Yep.
dude. My dad
Yeah.
had that fucking creepy, like that big creepy case that you're like, that's full of like torture tools, and there was just cassette tapes.
My dad had like a wooden one with a drawer, so they would all come out. It was pretty sweet.
My dad, because my dad's like a carpenter, autistic, like Jesus.
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
Jesus was autistic. I have a bit about this.
He
I
did-
posted,
he didn't like being
I think
touched.
somewhere.
Yeah, I would love to hear that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay. Jesus, according to the Bible, was a meticulously skilled carpenter, right? But that was before we invented the word savant.
Okay.
All right, so according to the Bible, Jesus was a carpenter savant with a foot fetish who died a virgin at 33 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Tracks.
Like, you do the math, dude. That's the most autistic thing I've ever heard.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Oh, I got mine. I would shoot a message out to John Daly. I would.
All right.
I would shoot out a message to him to see if how many cigarettes he could burn down here, and just have the best fucking time. We're big golfers
know
here,
what?
so
I have my background before I started stand-up comedy. I got my degree later in life, like online, but I have a bachelor's degree in like graphic design.
I love
And
how you put online on that. But go ahead.
Yeah. I have a bachelor's degree in graphic design and like marketing and like a background in like marketing a little bit. Have you seen like those TikTok and like those trends of like day one of doing this until so and so,
Yeah.
blah blah blah? I guarantee if you started doing those, but every day you shotgunned a beer and just put like on the beer can, like, or right next to it, like day 1 of shotgunning beers until John Daly comes on our podcast.
That's a good and it's good for content.
Hey.
Good for content, dude.
Hey.
That's a really good idea.
I could get this going. I really could. I drink every day already, so it's just not.
Dude,
it's
you
not a
drink
problem
every
to me.
day already, dude.
Yeah,
you have
dude.
to fill that hole where your soul's
yeah.
supposed to be.
Not the
We're
Bengals.
supposed to be, yeah. Dude, I was telling you.
I was holding that in for so long.
We were talking about like bits and shit, like stand up stuff, and I was like, "You're talking about being a ginger." We're gonna do stand up one day, and I think my whole thing is gonna be redhead. It's gonna be like the struggles of being a fucking redhead and how we need to be like equal.
Oh yeah, dude. Being ginger is a disability.
Yeah,
Ginger is a
You
disability.
should
Yeah.
pretty much as well get that VIP parking pass.
Dude,
yeah.
It affects your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has a direct impact on the quality and way that you live your
You know
life.
how many times I got my ass beat for having red hair?
Yeah. Do you know how many times I've been beat up for being the retarded kid?
He said, "Yeah." And
Dude, people sometimes are like, ooh, and like look at me funny for saying that word, and you're like, you don't know how many bruises I took for that word. Do you know what I mean?
I've earned this fucking word.
You got
dog.
jumped in for that word.
Yeah, dude, I've been jumped in for this word. Dude. And not in like a twisted T kind of way. Do you know what I mean? But hey,
Jumped in. That's such a fucked up. Oh my god. Oh my.
how come you guys been calling me this word, but now you have a problem with me calling me this word?
Oh my god.
That's like that Spider-Man meme where everybody's pointing and they're like, hey, we're gonna
Like, which
That's
one-
how this room is right now. After
yeah,
you realize that everybody else is in
But
there.
the whole time I'm like, but wait, I'm actually Spider-Man, motherfucker.
Like, no, I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, that's fucking great, dude. So who is yours? If you were drunk as shit, who would you shut up?
I don't know. I really like the older TV shows, like the comedy shows. So like Kevin James.
Okay,
Would be a good one.
Okay, again, I said, God damn it, you guys did not understand the assignment. Because I said the one that you would get drunk and message that because you think you could get them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like the girl that you talk, like at last call at the end of the night at the bar, you're like, I can convince her to go home with me.
That's so complimentary. Because he just said that we could get these people. He said we could get these people. That's what I heard. Hey, I'm for that.
You can get John Daly.
No,
Yeah!
that's why I said you guys didn't understand the assignment.
No.
The John Daly one did. You came close.
I-
He's talking about Ron White, who's basically like retired. Like
Yeah.
he's not leaving Austin.
I'm in
Do you know
left
what I mean?
field, yeah. Out of the park, not even.
So Kevin James,
Yeah.
movie star.
Yeah, I got it. All right, thank you. Okay.
He's about to go on tour again, I think.
Kevin
Who?
James, probably. He's
That meme's everywhere.
the life of a famous person. Dude. I can't wait to be one of them.
Well, then I don't know. Do we got to restart?
Dude,
You go again.
Fuck, dude. I don't know who I would want on. I guess I would.
Like who? Like okay, somebody that you guys like. I'm sure if you guys have like planning meetings or talk about like who you want to invite on the podcast, the people that come up in the conversation sometimes we're like not yet, but almost. Who's that guest? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So I did that right.
Yeah. Who's
okay.
your ice bucket challenge guest? Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
okay,
Like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
could shout out, like call out one person,
And you at
right
them,
now,
and you're just like, please, 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 please.
yeah, to be like if I called them out to do this, they'd probably do it.
Hell yeah. Who is that then? That's a good one. Yeah, mine is definitely Daly.
Roman Atwood.
Yeah, like I said, I think that the John Daly thing, especially with I think that could work, dude.
I think Roman Atwood would be a good one. He's from Ohio, too. I don't know. I think he still lives in Ohio.
Roman Atwood.
Roman Atwood. What is it? It is Roman
Can
Atwood.
can
Everybody
I
got
look
real
up? I would
lost.
say I know.
Real lost.
I would say I follow this dude. I just don't know his last name. I know his first name.
He had a
Can I look him up quick?
Sure. Yeah. He already got his phone out.
What's his
Go,
first
pull your
name?
phone.
Evan?
Evan Burke.
No,
Oh.
he's not a.
Yeah, this dude. He was a YouTuber. Now he has his own podcast. He did like a bunch of pranks
dude,
and stuff.
Roman Atwood.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. Roman Atwood. I followed him. I don't know.
Roman
know.
Atwood, huh? Evan Thompson. He's trying to get on the PGA Tour. He's like a really low level golfer right now. He's like Corn Fairy status.
Okay. You have no idea what the fuck that meant right there.
I
thought
that was a sex thing, dude.
What is Corn Fairy?
Like,
How do I meet one?
Level below you. That's where you earn your tour card.
It's like AAA, you know, like major leagues and AAA.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
I got you.
That's like you're just earning your spot basically.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's really fucking good, bro. He hits the fuck out of the ball. I should fucking hit him up. Something sexual too.
See? With something
drunk as shit.
Too. Yeah.
Hey, I'm naked on a beanbag chair eating some Cheetos. Wrong person still sends the same fucking message.
I was just juggling my balls, not the golf ones, if you know what I mean.
Jesus,
dude, he puts the tongue ring back in and he thinks he's a fucking Mac, dude. He's like, I could sexually seduce.
He gets
this,
the
semi-professional.
He gets that one little and it just like click, 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 click. He thinks that's like a little mating call. That's what that is.
It is. It's a mating call.
That's that neurodiverse confidence. Dude, that's that ADHD confidence. You know, that's like I'm good at anything. I try.
Yeah.
And then when you try something that you're not good at, you're like, fuck this shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But there are things you like. At 18 hours in, that people are like, how are you so good at that? And you're like, fucking, I don't know either.
I've been doing this for 18 hours. I'm just trying. I'm doing it. I'm doing what I got.
Yeah. Also, it's been 18 hours, dude.
It's been 18 hours.
I thought it's been like 3. Like, no, you missed work.
Time flies when you're having fun,
yeah,
I guess.
Put that down and apply for new jobs because you don't have one.
You no-called, no-showed. You lost all your benefits.
To wrap this one up, I want to ask you, involving with a couple years ago, you did get diagnosed with autism.
Yes.
So instead of the very beginning of this episode, we're going to finish this episode off with the story of how he was diagnosed. So when did you find out that you had autism?
Not until I was in my 30s, and I was going to the VA hospital down in Fort Myers, Florida, for something completely different. And one of the nurses there, like, just happened to bring it up. She was like, "Oh, like, have you ever like been like diagnosed as autistic?" And I was like, "No, what are you?" And she's like, "Oh, you have like you just similar things to my nephew." And she's just started listing shit.
That's
so
painful.
Like, you ever been lovingly roasted by an old black woman, dude?
Fuck.
Do you know what I mean? You ever been like loving, like it, like just constructively picked apart? Yeah, like, oh baby, you know what I mean?
Oh baby,
you ever been all babied by an old black lady? Do you know what I mean? But not like in the good way. Like, You ever get like the old black woman that would be like,
oh, sweetheart.
Be like, I got you, baby, or you know what I mean?
Like, I'm gonna hold your hand. Let's go through this together.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Let's go through this together.
That's what it is.
That's amazing.
My therapist is an older black lady. I get this shit all the time.
Yeah, dude. But when it turns on you,
and you're like, no,
like not even negatively, dude. Just where it's like
everything's so real.
Yeah, when she's like, when were you diagnosed as autistic? And I was like, what? Wait, what? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you just reminded me of my nephew. And I was like, how so? And she's like, oh, well, like you stim, like you can't make eye contact because you're like blah blah blah. You seem anxious and like you can't sit still because you seem like you're like, and just literally started listing all of these things
that
like
you've been doing
like
with forever.
She's like conversational cues. Like I can't get, like, I'm having a hard time getting you to like answer follow-up questions and things like that or engage.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, you know, and so she told me like some resources to like look up, and I went online and started taking these tests, and every test I took was like, you should see a doctor, you know? And Jesus Christ. I reached out to the University of Florida. I found out they had like a Center for Autism like research.
Hell yeah.
And so I reached out to them, and because it's the University of Florida and it's like research and stuff like that, it's like free for Florida residents, and I'm like from that area.
Nice.
So I went back up from Fort Myers up to Gainesville to go like do this appointment and stuff, and they took all the tests that I had already taken and then gave me a bunch of other tests, and then had my mom take a bunch of tests to answer questions about my childhood and all this kind of stuff, and then did like this like 4.5 hour long like observation appointment where they like went through all of my tests and asked me all these different questions and did a bunch of like weird like those things where they're like they'll like afterwards they're like, ha, that was a test. Okay. You know, like that kind of shit. Yeah. You know? And one of them was like conversational cues. Right. And so like literally like 20 minutes into this appointment, he was like, aha, that was a tested me, you know? And he was like, so just so you know, you're definitely on the spectrum and we're going to continue this. And he was like, but just so you know, like that was a test, like these last couple of questions and like things. And he's like, I said certain things back to you that were conversational cues that like people with like neurotypical brains and like normal social skill interactions would like when he would be like, okay, and you grew up here, right? And I'd be like, yes. And he'd be like, okay, I grew up in like New York State. And like most people would be like, oh, what part? Or like some kind of like follow up to it. And it was just like nothing. And he was like, and you've done that 11 times in a row. Like basically he's like, you missed all of them.
Oh my God.
You know?
Done that 11 times in a row.
Yeah, and he's like, so you missed all of them.
Couldn't
and then he's like combined,
and then
he's like combined with like the stimming and like the lack of, because there's like a thing like it's almost like the Forrest Gump thing. It's like the once we ain't strangers anymore. I'm usually fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have friend groups and like normal like the comics that are regulars at Zanies. Like I can hang out with them outside of Zanies and be fine. At like comedy clubs, because there's like that anxiety of like, oh, you have to go on stage, like there's an audience waiting, that kind of, and it starts like in your head. It's one of those kinds of things. It's like normally by the time I'm driving to the comedy club, it's already like you're like, I have a hard time leaving the house sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's like you're literally leaving the house to go do something that you hate to do,
but you have to. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're leaving the house to go let strangers stare at you for
and
money.
Judge you the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that like circus sideshow like part of my brain that's like, that's what they think, you know? So there's that all kinds of, there's so much fun stuff that goes on inside my brain. I don't know why I'm like ASMR whispering it into the microphone.
I appreciate it.
So you're welcome.
So you ended up getting autism and ADHD at the same time?
No. Autism first, in 2019. And then, got diagnosed. They, like, referred me to, like, a therapist to start working with, like, a occupational therapist kind of specialist to start working with me on, like, redeveloping social skills and, like, things to help me with executive dysfunction and, like, kind of coaching me and giving me, like, a healthy toolbox for things. That therapist basically challenged me to try stand-up comedy as like a homework assignment,
nice.
as like a bonus, like, hey, you should get out and be around people, and also you have this part of your brain, like this creative part that's just constantly running and like storing up stuff is basically like, you know what I mean? Like it's holding up space in your hard drive. So if you'll just go get some of this out. You know, because at the time I hadn't started stand-up. I wanted to do like my own like animated series,
right?
Okay.
But I was trying to teach myself how to storyboard and draw and animate and
that's
like
where
do all of this stuff.
That's where your degree comes into play.
Well, a little bit, but I didn't have all of those skills because my degree is in more like flyers, posters, like marketing. Marketing based as opposed to like creative artist based. So I was trying to like learn that, and so she's like, so you're putting all of these different roadblocks between you and actually getting the shit out of your head. Got you. So she's like, don't do that.
Like, let it fly.
Yeah, let it fly. And I basically had like a Space Jam moment. Do you know what I mean? Because at this point, like I was like working with this occupational therapist. I had a diagnosis. I had medical marijuana. I had all this kind of stuff. And like when she was like, you should just go to an open mic, like try stand up, like take some of your ideas and thoughts and like just get them out of your head, like show them to other people and maybe you'll find a way to connect. Right. And I had that kind of thing, like the Space Jam moment with the aliens, like when they turn on the Danny DeVito boss guy.
Okay.
And they're like, but he's bigger than we used to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, but I can't do that because I have like this, and this. And I was like, wait, but I also have this,
my
and this.
juice.
Right.
I got my special juice.
So I was kind of like, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's try it. And then just went from there. And then kind of, I would literally, my therapy turned into like a follow-up coaching session from my stand-up sets, you know? Be like, let me tell you how my sets went this week and like what happened. And, you know, and like they just encouraged that. And it was like, no, you found this like thing that you're like, you're engaging with people in, like literally like redeveloped social skills that I had like lost since like childhood and like early adulthood and shit. Like, because in my 20s, like I had like a friend group, so I was kind of insulated within that friend group. And if we were out and around people, I didn't realize like I was masking so much shit with alcohol. Like I didn't realize until much later in life that it was like, oh, not everybody pre-games the pre-game. Do you know what I mean? And like downs two tall boys in their car before they go hang out with their group of friends that they know and love and trust, and drink more beers before they go out and be around people. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And like I didn't realize like little shit that in my head that like thought I was just like quirky particular shit. Like, we would go to, like, big events. Like, we would go to, like, Gator games and shit together. Like, we would try to go to, like, a Gator game together every year. Me and my friend group, like, Brian, Ben, Teresa, like, all my, like friends for over a decade, like, 15 years now. Shout out. What up? Regular ass people. No. But, like, not realizing, like, I'd sit in the middle of the group. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd find ways to position myself that was insulated, not realizing, like, oh, everyone does that. Everyone, every time they go out with their friends, strategically place themselves to where they don't have to be around other people. Do you know, like, shit like that, that, like, over time, you're like, I
slowly looked over at
how
him.
did nobody know?
You notice I do that?
100%.
Yeah, I do. Fucking all day, I'm just relating. It sucks.
Oh, yeah, no, he found out he was, he was
I haven't been diagnosed, but, like, because my therapist is largely like, well, you're 30. What's that going to do? I'm like, eh.
And that is what made it hard at first, was like trying to find, because so much is like designed for children, right? And that's why I eventually had to reach out. Like, I found the University of Florida thing, and I was like, well, that's research. Maybe and they're like, haha, turns out it's us. We're the people.
Yeah. It's us,
so,
we're the people.
Do they have those everywhere, or is it just Florida?
I know specifically that one is the University of Florida, but I have heard from other people that like most schools with like medical and like research like have some sort of research program.
Cool.
And
great, because I want to kind of go down that path of getting diagnosed, but like also we just kind of been like treating it as
90
if
minutes from Columbus.
90 minutes?
Less than that?
about 90 minutes.
It's probably about 90 minutes. Hour 45 maybe.
Let's try
I
looking
got
into some
geography
stuff.
autism, dude. Fuck.
You that GeoGuessr guy? Huh? You on the GeoGuessr? That shit's good.
I've not. Oh, is that a thing? Is that
it's
a
like
real
a game,
thing?
and it puts you on Google Maps somewhere in the world, and you have to figure out where it is. And it's so much fun.
Okay, not that kind. No, I have the. Do you remember like looking at maps and you remember those little like this is the key?
Oh yeah,
and,
you're
like,
putting your fingers everywhere.
Dude, so much time like measuring with that knuckle thing. Do you remember in elementary school when they told you like this was an inch?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Turns out when you're a full-grown adult who's 6'4", that is not an inch, dude. That's way, that's fucking.
Oh yeah. I guess that's bad now.
Also, why as Americans, why do we all have our own fucked up measuring systems, dude? Oh my God. Like, not only is there like the metric versus like fuck, I don't even remember the name of our system. Imperial. Whatever. But fucking, dude, why do we insist as Americans, not only do I have our own shit that is not related to anything anyone else does, but then on top of that, we have our own made up shit that we all like our regional made up shit. Right. That's the like those are the things where those like subtle miscommunications with like autism and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, your phrase doesn't mean to me what it means to
very
you.
Clear.
Yeah.
Like down the street is big here. Like, what is it? Right down the streets, like across fucking town.
Yeah, now I'm trying to keep up with the conversation, and in my brain, I'm playing this weird game of social charades where I'm like, what the fuck does that phrase mean here?
Before we get out of here, we have 2 questions. I want to throw one at you because I want to see if you can relate in the sense. Because me and him go back and forth. We have 2 different answers. I want to see where you're at. When you wipe your ass, do you ball your toilet paper or do you fold it?
That's an aggressive
finger. You guys what?
I'm kidding, dude.
I do the bird bath in the sink. Keep it going.
Okay, I'm sorry. Repeat the question again. When I wipe my ass.
When you wipe your ass, do you ball your toilet paper or do you fold your toilet paper?
So I guess I do the fold. So here's the I wrap it around my hand and then take it off of my hand and we'll it's rolled
squared.
It's kind of squared up, and then
he does not.
Then you do the wipe, and then you do the wipe, and then you like origami
you fold it like a normal human being. You fold it, so you have more toilet paper. You wipe again. Got it. He don't do that. He don't do that at all.
You just roll it up.
Just makes
makes the loofah. He just little bidet of flowers and then
little bidet of flowers.
All right. So you do it like tissue paper in like a gift bag.
I guess more or less, yeah. Not like all strung, no. Because like I feel like when you say it like that, like it's like you just throw it in there, like you know what I mean. It's like all unrolled still. Like
he makes sure the leaves are there.
So this is literally what I do. I like take it and I just rip it, and then I just. Like like when you go
you're about to throw it in a trash can and yell Kobe.
Yeah, but I don't pack it. But I don't pack it real tight like a snowball. You know what I mean? Like
so you leave room for your fingers to slide through as you're wiping.
No, there's like a little protector for when I grab it. I have like a stem. You know. I guess I gotta just show you guys how to wipe my ass.
You realize the stem is your fingers.
You know what I mean?
The stem is your fingers. You're just holding paper up and just dragging shit through your nail beds, dude. Is what's going on.
Then you chews the fuck out of them.
Bite them.
Oh my god!
You're just eating shit all day.
Do you get sick a lot?
Never.
You're at E. coli?
Dude, probably that definitely explains it.
His body's a callus, dude.
Bulletproof, dude.
Bulletproof. One more question before we get on out of here. Usually we ask the guests, what guests would you like to see come on Boogered Up Podcast next? Who would you recommend to be on the Boogered Up Podcast?
Ooh, who would I ice bucket challenge in this?
Besides your best friend.
Ooh, besides Jake. That's not fair.
We've already done slid into Jake's DMs a little bit, you know? The little sweet talk.
Besides Jake.
Little sweet potato.
I love when you whisper something and then Tech goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Because if I'm not looking at Nick, I don't know he's whispering it to me. I'm like, why the fuck is Nick saying that? Oh, it's just for me.
Yeah.
Just for you, bud.
Thanks. I love the fucking.
What is the mouth?
I can smell the oil is burning.
I know, dude. There are too many different directions, dude. 80. You've given me like my universe is multiplying.
I was kind of excited. to ask these questions because it's just like here's a blank slate, fill in the blank.
You're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch them overheat in real time.
It's like I see the oil burning, and I was like, "Fuck, what does that phrase mean?" All completely off the question.
Oh my god.
Okay, if not Jake, I don't know. There's a bunch of great Nashville comics like my dude Connor Larson, Josh Black, Matt Taylor, Fiona, who I talked about earlier in the episode. Fiona Cawley is fantastic.
What do we have to carry?
Amber Autry.
We'd have to carry.
Brad. Yeah, true. That would be and carrying her down into a basement. That would no.
She kind of would get the wrong vibe. Yeah.
Like where are you taking?
Yeah. Well, you'd have to start carrying her from the front yard. You know, from the front steps, and so the neighbors would call somebody.
The police station is right over there.
Dude, they'd be like, "Oh, this is I don't know if this is a legal casting couch situation or not. Like, you guys gotta get over here, dude."
No, so you're saying just reach out to some of the Nashville comedians. They're killing it over there.
Dude, the Nashville comedians are so dope.
We just had also
there's a
country star.
Fuck yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Also, there's a comic who's a friend of mine that I met through the World Series of Comedy like years ago now. but they're back and forth like L.A., Columbus. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay.
Back and forth between like L.A. and Columbus. So I don't know if they live here or not, but they are back here a lot. Sheena Rabini.
Okay.
She's so funny, dude.
Okay.
So funny. One of my favorites, like personal favorites.
We'll have to reach out. That'll be the one. Because usually when we leave here, we're like, okay, let's try and see if we can do like what you said with the guest deal. Like, why not just keep spreading? Because in podcasts, you're starting it up. You understand that like you got to start the product, then you got to start doing this stuff, and then there comes the more stuff. So like as we got, of course, us.
Never stop.
Yeah. Well, we got us, then Chris, then this led to you. So shout out Chris Harvey for putting that in there.
Yeah.
I'm actually repping Chris.
Yeah, he's got a Chris's shirt on. He's got Chris's shirt underneath the jersey that just got their fucking ass beat.
You have to love yourself, Chris Harvey.
27-3 final score.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you don't ever take the money line. But
Yeah, I know this is Monday's episode, but I said it on Friday. Don't take my fucking bets. I don't know what I'm doing now. Don't ever bet on the goddamn Bengals. All right, everybody. AJ Wilkerson, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Put all your socials and everywhere they can find you. They already know where the fuck they can find you. But where can they find you, and where are the shows you got coming up?
AJ Wilkerson Comedy, Instagram, YouTube. Those are the big ones. Go follow those. Facebook, AJ Wilkerson Comedy. I'm everywhere. I'm all over the everythings. The special, don't know where it's going to come out yet, but there is the possibility that we just put it out on YouTube. So please go follow that. Go check out the YouTube.
Hell
Also,
yeah.
Podcast coming soon. All of that kind of content will be coming out there as well. So,
Big working man right here. Shout out again. Thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
It's been a fucking great
I
time.
thought we were going to talk about boogers way more.
Boogers, everybody thinks
I think
that's
you're the only one that had to talk about boogers.
Yeah, I
today.
did talk about boogers.
You did.
I came in with a fresh booger story.
You
About
did.
a unfresh
Yeah,
booger.
that wasn't
That
fresh.
was
That was
literally like 12 hours
marinated,
ago.
Like
crusted
12
up,
hours ago.
deep. Yeah, everything. But guys, make sure you guys subscribe and doing everything, and we will catch you guys on
Get that new
Friday.
merch.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do. Get the new merch. Do everything else. Love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Shut up!
Bye.